What's going on, everybody? What's up, my lifers? How is everybody doing today? What's going on, everybody? What's up, my lifers? How is everybody doing Hope today? Everyone had an amazing day. It has been a beautiful day here in the Ville. Here in Nashville, it has been a lovely, lovely day. What's up, Gypsy Lily? What's up, my wonderful, amazing mod, our mod for the channel, Seventh Heaven, the moderator formerly known as Deidre. It's good to see you in the chat as always. What's going on, Alicia Howard? What's up, Chloe Banks? Good to see you in the chat with your beautiful self. Good to see everyone here. Let's just wait a few moments and let everybody fall into the chat. Let everybody fall into the chat. I'm going to take a little puff of my hookah real quick while we're letting everybody come in. Yeah, man. This should be a very, very interesting show tonight. Everybody can call in and share their experiences. Call in and share your experiences being an XJW out here in the world, trying to find that special someone. You know, we are all trying to find that special someone. This will be a good little call in. We had an amazing show last night. Yeah, Chloe, you missed a good one. Last night was an amazing show, man. 3 hours of people calling in and sharing their experiences. Oh, man, you missed a great show last night. Great show last night. Seventh Heaven definitely flexed her skills as a moderator last night. Seventh Heaven had to give somebody the boot last night. Seventh Heaven had to get somebody what we call the fuck up out of here last night. Seventh Heaven said, "No, you need to get out of here, sir. You are messing up the chat." So she gave that dude the boot. She said, "Get up out of here." I'm sorry, I meant Cleo. Thanks for calling me out, Gypsy Lee. Gypsy Lee said that's not her name. That's not her name. What's going on? Cleo, you missed the last great show last night. Man, that was a fun time. There were about 50 people in here at one point. And I can't even count the number of calls we had last night. We had so many calls. It was just backed up. People were calling while other people were on the phone. The phone just kept ringing over and over again while it was crazy. It was crazy. And now if the live stream keeps getting like that, I will definitely invest in the software that we need to put people in a queue to call. Up until last night, I just never had the number of people calling where it was economically viable for me to invest in that software. And so if it continues to grow at the rate it's growing, then I'll definitely invest in that software because it'll be necessary. Yeah, Seventh Heaven is right. I literally couldn't even say anything hardly because as soon as I started talking, the phone would ring, which was a great problem to have. In my opinion, it was a great problem to have. I was super excited about it. I was super excited about that problem. But we will wait a few moments and let everybody get in here. We will wait a few moments and let everybody join this chat, join this show. What's up, Aramis? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you in the chat. How's everything going with you, bro? In the A? So today, I had an experience. It's time. It is time for a story. It is time for a story. It is time for a story. So today, Seventh Heaven, a little story. It's not a long one. This is a short little story, but a significant one. I was at the gas station. I just pumped my gas, but I went in the car. I was doing something on my phone, so I was sitting there for a moment. And while I was sitting there, this white truck pulled up next to my car. He rolled the window down. And I rolled my window down. Black dude. Brother in the truck. He leans out of the window and he says, hey, brother, I was just out in the neighborhood today. We were talking with people, and he sticks a watchtower out of his window. And I look at that watchtower, and I'm like, oh, shit. Here we go. I am being tested. What am I going to do? So he sticks this watchtower out the window and he says, we were just out in the neighborhood, man. We were talking about, we were sharing about God, man. A lot of people don't think God is watching them and watching over them and helping them in their lives. But we just want to let you know that he is watching and he is there to help you. And so if you have any doubt that God is there and God is helping you, I can assure you he is. He's watching and he's helping you out. And with this magazine, you can read some more about how God can help you. And if you look here on the back, there's a website you can go to, and it can tell you more about how you can build a better relationship with God. Now, what was so funny about his presentation, as we all know that's what it's called, his presentation. What's up, 111007? I was just talking about you earlier today with my aunt. Good to see you in the chat. What was interesting about his presentation was that at no point did he say the words Jehovah's Witnesses. Not once. Not one time did he say Jehovah's Witnesses. And I thought that was very interesting. So he said, yeah, you can go on the back of this magazine and get some more information about how God is here for you. And I looked at him and I said, how long have you been one of Jehovah's Witnesses? And he said, oh, I was my whole life, ever since I was born, I've been a Jehovah's Witness. He said, are you familiar? And I said, yeah, I'm familiar. And he said, oh, okay. He said, do you have any questions or anything? And I said, yeah, I have a question. I said, yeah, I have a question. I said, I just wonder how people in the organization can justify how the governing body, and he stopped right then. His face, at first he was all smiley, he was warm, he was talking to me. And as soon as I said governing body, he said, oh, you wanted them. And he took the watch tower, he pulled his hand back into his window, he rolled the window up and sped off. And I just sat there and watched and just looked at him. I didn't say one word. I just watched him roll his window up and drive off. And I'm thinking, damn, brother. Damn, brother. For real? I said, these dudes at the governing body have you so afraid to speak to me that you can't even answer a question. You didn't even know what the question I was about to ask was. What I was going to ask him was how they justify the fact that the governing body says that they're not inspired or how they justify that they're not inspired or infallible, but we're still supposed to believe that they are anointed. That's what I was going to ask him. But he didn't even give me the opportunity to ask the question before he got afraid and split. And it just made me think. I went over my aunt's house and talked to her for a little bit before this show started. And I thought, man, you are so afraid that you can't even answer a question. Now, according to what I remember about the Bible, what I know about the Bible says that you should be prepared to defend your faith against anybody. And you should do that valiantly and without fear and with courage. That you should be prepared to defend your faith against any question. So the fact that you are unwilling or unable due to the instruction from someone higher up in God's hierarchy, you are ill prepared or unwilling to answer a simple question shows me that, one, you're being controlled, or two, you don't have enough faith in what you deem to be the truth to be able to answer any question that comes at you. Because me, if it's something that I believe in and I have investigated and I know it like the back of my hand, if someone were to ask me a question about that particular topic, I would be so willing to discuss it with that person. I would be so willing to defend my belief that it would be absolutely no problem. I would invite someone to ask me a question. But alas, he was unable to withstand the onslaught of one question. And I thought it was fucking hilarious. I literally laughed out loud by myself in my car as he sped away. Amazing stuff, man. Amazing stuff. Let's look at the chat, see what's going on in here. Just said, oh shit. KB says, hey y'all, OMG, this topic, the craziest thing ever, trying to date in that joint. Yeah, man. I think we may have some really good calls today. It should be some really good stories to tell today. What's up, MKT? What's up, KB? What's up, Mimi P? She says this brings back, or Mimi P says this brings back memories. My grandmother taught me very young to reject anything that sounds apostate because that would be letting the devil in. Run if I have to just get out of there. Yeah, man. What's up, XJW Survivor? She says if they're not infallible, then why are we being kicked out if we disagree with something they teach? They're not perfect, true. So why do we have to follow their commands to the T? Perfect question. She said, Keith got him. I got him. Got him. Got him. Got him. So yeah, I was struggling to come up with a topic for today's show. What's up, Miss Bailey too? Good to see you. Hello to you as well, sister. I was struggling to come up with a topic for the show today. And this is a topic that I wanted to talk about for a while, but I always thought I would have somebody else to co-host this topic with me, but I don't have anybody. So I thought I'll go ahead and do it myself. I will go ahead and do this thing myself. And that XJW Survivor is where I was going with this question. But I thought that he would at least give me the opportunity to just ask a question. But that didn't happen. Didn't happen. Did not happen. What's up, my mango bango? Fitzy. That's what they called me and my daughter in the company we danced in. I danced with her. Actually, her teacher at her school. I taught there sometimes, and I danced in the company at my daughter's school when she was in high school. And her nickname was Fitzy, and they called me Fitzy too. What's going on, Miss Bailey? Good to see you in the chat. Oh, guys, guess what happened today? Guess what happened today? Guess who commented on the show last night? Guess who commented on the show last night? So I was talking to my aunt today, and I got a notification on my phone, and MKT says, what's going on up in here? You guys talking about dating? We're getting ready to. We're letting everybody fall into the chat before we start the discussion. What's up today, Forever? How you doing? Good to see you, as always. Good to see you. Um, so yeah, I got a notification on my phone. Me and my aunt talking. I looked at my phone, and there was a comment. The comment said, let me find that comment real quick, cause I want you guys to see it. I want you guys to see this. This was this was pretty cool to me. Pretty cool to me. Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna show you guys this. I don't want you to think I'm lying. This is the message I got today. Hold on. Oh, I'm gonna have to split it up. I'm gonna have to split it up. It's too much words. I was like, wow, for real? I know a lot of us have watched their channel, and I have watched their channel several times. And so I was very, very surprised to see that they actually watched the video. So yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. I was very surprised and excited to see that they watched the video. So they heard all of the experiences that we shared. I replied, "Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys." And I said, I said, I really enjoy the work that you and JT do, and thanks a lot for watching the video. So yeah, so maybe there will be some point in the future where where we talk together. So yeah, XJW Critical Thinker is a channel. It's a husband and wife. They were both in the organization. I think JT was, he was an elder and a Bethelite as well. And he has a very, very good channel because he has a lot of insight into the inner workings of the organization. And he shares a lot of inside information, which is really, really cool. I really enjoy his channel. He's pretty funny too. So yeah, it was cool to see that our work is getting out there. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about now. I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure you can contact them. I'm pretty sure I could contact them. I replied to them on that message, so we have an open line of communication. So I'm pretty sure I could message them via YouTube if it was necessary. Yeah, I love them too, Nikki T. Right, but I think JT was at Bethel too because he tells a lot of stories about what goes on at Bethel. So I think he was there too. I'm pretty sure that he was because I've heard him talk about when he was there. He has one that he was talking about the whole thing with Anthony Morris and the drinking, and he was talking about how they have a lot of beer at Bethel and how they would hide it before everyone got there. Okay, KB. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I've seen Daniel on their show too, Miss Bailey. Yeah, Seventh Heaven, that's John Cedars. And then, well, John Cedars was on there. There were several other guys, and there was the young black dude, Fifth, who was also on the Leah Remini show. That's the young guy. What's going on, Dale? Good to see you in here. Good to see you in here. But that whole little experience today with the guy that just turned and ran. I mean, he literally just punched his truck and ran away. It really just made me think. Yeah, thank you, HJW Survivor. I think he was too. Yeah, I like Fifth too. He's a cool young brother. It just made me realize just how indoctrinated everybody is. You mean, I know we all already know that, but to just see it in action like that, to see somebody literally their emote, like I watched his face. I literally didn't take my eyes off his face because I wanted to see what he was going to do when I asked him the question. And when his face just changed like that, and he was so afraid to just dialogue with me, at the very least, just man to man, black man to black man, just sit down and talk, and he was so unwilling to do that. And it made me think, dude, if I was still in that organization, I probably would do the same thing. I would still be at a point where I would maybe just call somebody an apostate and run away. But I know me, and I am just so ready to debate. I probably would have debated him about it if I believed it that much. KB says, has anyone ever listened to Jumanji the Pharisee? That brother is hilarious. Yeah, I've seen some of his videos too. He's pretty smart. He's pretty hilarious. He is hilarious. I think he just did a video about the memorial, and that shit was so funny. That shit was hilarious. 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 So again, guys, yeah, I'm going to yeah, I like John Cedars. John Cedars is really good. Really good show. Haha. Thanks, Gypsy Lil. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think I love everyone's shows. Everyone is good, but I think we have something really special here on this channel because I don't know of any other channel where everyone can really just call in and we all interact with each other. I love the videos and I think they're hilarious. But again, like I always say, I really want this channel to be more about healing after coming out of the organization. And I think the best way for us to do that is literally by talking to each other and sharing our stories, sharing our ups and our downs, not just our downs in the organizations, but yeah, just sharing all the things that we're doing, how we're getting past, how we feel. Like what 11/11/007 said last night with being angry, that is some real shit. I mean, you think about that. That's a lot of time and a lot of resentment that you build up because of all the things that you couldn't do, all the things you wanted to do, all the control, all the things that, and on top of that, especially those of us who have kids, this whole thing where you taught your kids something that later in life you found out wasn't true, that shit can piss you off to no end. And I feel the same way. I'm like, man, that makes me so mad. So mad. So mad, man. Yeah, I've seen Stop the Shunning. Thank you, Alicia Howard. I appreciate that. Yeah, I haven't seen any of Free Monique's new stuff. I see her. She's a Facebook friend on my Facebook, and she's doing really well. I'm really glad to see. I'm really glad to see her doing well with her life and being happy. XJW says, that's why I keep tuning in. Healing is so important, and it's the hardest thing to do on your own. It is. It is. Today Forever says, last night you set the bar in a different standard for XJW YouTube. This is a great new frontier, Keith. Thank you so much, man. I'm trying. I'm really trying. I am really trying. You know, I really wish I wish YouTube would have been as big back then as it is now. There wasn't anything like that, 20 years ago. When I was trying to wake up, when I was waking up, there was nothing like that. What's going on, Miss Mont Blanc? Good to see you in the chat also. Good to see you here also. Good to see you guys. Thank you guys so much for liking the video as you come in. I think last night's show ended up having like 47 likes, and we had 50 people watching. It was great, man. It was great. What's going on, Terry Baker? Good to see you in the chat. Good to see you in the chat. Seventh Heaven is on it. I still just barely remember that damn number. She is on it, man. And that is true. The call-in number tonight is the same. 615-412-9335 is the call-in number. I guess I'll put these headphones on. Yes, Terry. Good to see you here. Oh yeah, I think the whole time I've been on, I've only had one other troll call, and it was there was a troll call last night. So hopefully we can avoid the trolls. I'll just start blocking numbers, but a lot of times the trolls will call in from one number. You block that number, they'll call in from a different number. They'll just keep calling from different numbers. So we'll try to keep them out of the show tonight. We will try to keep the trolls away tonight. All right, guys. So let's hop in. Let's get into it. Let's see here. I will switch to the call-in number screen too, if anyone needs to know. 7 says, I was wondering what that troll caller was thinking, the one who wanted advice about his Catholic situation. He was going to end up saying something super stupid. That's why I ended up going ahead and just ending the call. Terry says, are they witnesses? Nah, they're just trolls, man. Miss Bay 2 says, Smurf Girl has all the tea about the dark secrets in the orb. Yeah, I've seen her channel. She talks about a lot of different stuff, man. There's some way out stuff that's out there that I hadn't. When I used to deliver packages for Amazon, I used to really listen to a lot of that stuff. And a lot of it was really surprising. I had no idea that a lot of that stuff was going on. It was really weird to hear. So yeah, man, let's talk about it. Dating as an ex-Jehovah's Witness. How's that going? How is that going? Now, when I left, KB says, yeah, she's a little too way out for me. So when I first left the organization, of course, I was still married for a while. Then after that whole thing ended, and I moved out to Hermitage. MKT says, can we call in? Of course you can call in, MKT. You want to call in? Go ahead and call in. I can share my stories. I can share my stories in between the calls. Go ahead and call in, brother. 615-412-9335. I know you were trying to call in last time, but HCD was on the phone. MKT said, I gotta go, man. Damn. Go ahead and call in, MKT. 615-412-9335. You are on the K Fits My Life show. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Man, ain't nobody but MKT.
Man, what's up, MKT?
Nothing too much, man. I just wanted to elaborate a little bit on about what the main topic is before I got to get back in and finish cooking this lasagna at the house, you know.
I hear you, brother. Go ahead. What's on your mind? Tell us something good.
I just want to say this. I'm someone who's been through the whole dating thing as an ex-JW. I'm married now, but one thing I can say is that, you know, getting past that, you're going to go through an awkward stage, you know. I myself, I had a problem with apologizing. I believe, like I said that in the chat room before, like when I first started getting with my now wife, when I first started dating her, I used to apologize for everything, you know, just be like small little stuff. And I mean, a lot of it is because, you know, we're not really used to dealing with people that's in the so-called world, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of awkward, you know, certain things that are permissible to them, you know, you wouldn't do with the someone that's in the organization, you know. So that's all I want, you know, really want to say. Just, you know, if you are dating somebody that is that's, you know, not affiliated with Watchtower, you know, just try to be a little, you know, open mind. Don't apologize, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, there's a lot of understanding people that's out here, you know.
Gotcha. Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed, bro.
And I mean, another thing too, you know, find someone that's really able, you know, you have to put everything out on the table. Don't keep no secrets. And, you know, that's one thing that a lot of people do, you know, when they do decide to lead, they may try to keep the whole Watchtower thing a secret. You know, you need to let the person know, like, look, I was raised in a cult. I'm still having some issues from that. They got to know this because you may not even know that it's really playing a part in your relationship that could be, you know, hurting your relationship. You know, you got to communicate. Communication is a big thing, you know, because I mean, I had a problem with keeping small little secrets, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
mm-hmm.
I didn't, yeah, because I mean, when my wife, when we first started dating, I didn't even really tell her really too much about the way I was raised, you know what I'm saying, until like I had to get the courage up to actually tell her, you know, that look, you know, this is what was going on. But I went ahead and put all, you know, I was in the waking up stage when we met. But when I was with my child's mom, then that's another story. I was gonna call in a little bit about that.
Okay.
You know, yeah, I was gonna call in a little about that about that yesterday. But when I was with her, she used Watchtower to get back with me. You know, 'cause she was just, you know, I had one of those crazy exes and everything like that. But she used Watchtower to get back. She used it against me, in other words, because her aunt was a witness, and so that she acted like, you know, after we had one of our breakups, she acted like she was going on back to the that she was going to join the organization and everything like that. And at the time, I was getting ready to go back because, you know, I wasn't fully waking up yet.
Okay.
But when she got me back, that's when she stopped going to the meetings. So that's another thing. That's another thing. So what I'm saying is, if you get with somebody that's kind of that's got some issues, you know, don't let them use that against you. You know,
that's a very good point.
Yeah. So, but I mean, other than that, I mean, there's some, you know, when I met my wife and everything, there's some good people that's out here. You know what I'm saying? The world is not all totally bad as what we were taught. You know, there's some good people. Like my wife, she was raised Episcopalian.
Okay.
You know, yeah, and so then, you know, you got to think somebody come being raised up in Watchtower, Episcopalian, and everything like that. You know, you have a little, you know, a little clash in there at first, but I was already woken up, so that didn't apply.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So, yeah, but basically what I'm saying is, you know, just try to be, you know, accepted to, you know, to whoever, you know, and everything. But there's somebody out here for everybody. There's some good people out here, you know. And another thing, just communicate. You know, that's one of the biggest things. Communication is one of the biggest things I think a lot of people that's coming out of Watchtower need to work on. You know, because we was always a little fearful of, we had some wolves up there, the elders. You didn't want to really come out and say things. You want to keep things secret.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, that's one of the things that I think that from my talks from me talking to everybody, they've always told me that communication was one of the things that they had a problem with.
Mm-hmm.
So just try to, even small things, just try to communicate with the person as a as an XJW.
Very good points, MKT.
Yeah.
Because I had that same thing happen to me when me and my wife at the time had separated. One of the times we split up, she used the brothers. She would call me for a while. She was like, I don't want to get back together. But then when she started wanting to get back with me, she started wanting me to meet at the Kingdom Hall and talk to the brothers and all that stuff. And I'm like, I'm not talking to them. I know what you're doing. I am not down. So I can relate. They were like, all right, well, we're gonna go to the Kingdom Hall. The brothers want to meet with us. I'm like, I'm not meeting with them.
Man, Kay, I'm not trying to get off subject, man, but I mean, like, I was gonna say a couple. I had some good points I wanted to bring up about the last video about.
Go ahead, man.
Why were you this fellowship, man? But I just have to say this, man. I wish I was really like, you probably know what I'm talking about. I wish I was like really, really woke. You know what I'm saying? Knew the information that I knew now when I was at my judicial, my deliverance committee, I should say. Because I mean, I couldn't really say anything because here it was. But I'll go ahead and tell you all while I was this fellow. Now I gotta run. But basically it was like this. I was with my ex, and we had a relationship. And basically this right here shows you how fake Watchtower is, that there's no higher power that plays a part in Watchtower.
Mm-hmm.
But let me get back to the story. Like, what happened was, we was in a relationship, and we went through a total of 3 breakups.
Okay.
But there was one point she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And so she just was acting funny. She was like, I want this SHIT out of me. I'm not ready to have a kid. She just acting real crazy. And so then and so then she went and and was fussing. I mean, we went through a whole thing. So she finally went up and had an abortion. Okay. So she had abortion. So then we broke up again, and my mom was like, you need to go to the brothers and tell them all what's going on. You need to go to the brothers. So I go ahead and have my judicial I hate to say judicial committee. I like to say deliverance because they delivered me from Watchtower. But
hey, that's a good phrase, man.
But I was there, and I mean, I couldn't really come back with anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would just hit me with fornication and everything like that. So they weren't going to disfellowship me. They were just going to put me on, I think it's called private on reproof.
Private
that's what they were going to do. Yeah, that's what they were going to do. But so then, when I was standing out, when they tell you to leave the room, they're getting out their shepherd and the flunk book and all that other stuff. They're going through all the other crap. And so then, so basically, I was standing out there, and I thought to myself, I said, well, should I tell them about the abortion? Because, I mean, they need to know and everything like that. And so then I go back in there, and I tell them, they had their books and stuff. I said, well, we were together. She had an abortion. Mm-hmm. And so then they looked, and then they told me, they said, okay, go back out. And so when I came back in, one of the brothers was crying.
Really?
He was in tears. And so then I'm sitting there, and then that's when they told me that they're going to have to disfellowship me because of abortion. You know what I'm saying? And so then
how was that your fault?
Oh, I'm gonna get to that. That's what I'm saying. How was it my fault? She did that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. But they're trying to say that they was trying to use a point that, like, if I was in the car, we went to go basically kill somebody. That's what they said. That I was driving the car, and she went down there. But I'm like, okay, she went inside the building. She went and laid on that mat. You know what I'm saying? That was her. But I'm going to get to the way that how there's no higher power in it.
Okay.
So, but this is one of the point where I woke up at.
Okay.
And this is what somebody has to think. When I was in high school, when they tell you about the whole, you have 7 days to appeal and everything like that. Mm-hmm. When I was in high school, a teacher somebody wrote on the wall, they said, May 5th, somebody's going to shoot up the school, right? You know how kids be writing stuff when it never happened.
Right.
But I went to high school, and I told them about it. Well, the teacher flipped out, and she basically she looked at me and my friend as we were going to plot something to shoot up the school and everything like that, but it didn't go on my record. They got appeal. So I'm like, okay, that appeal is they made a mistake. Mm-hmm. And so then when they told me, fast forward to now, when they told me that I have 7 days to appeal, In my mind, like, hold up here. Appeal, like y'all are appeal means there's a mistake or it could be a no.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so then that's what just made that was one part of my waking up phase. I'm like, hold up, something's not right here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so fast forward, me and my ex got back together one time. We broke up. She was pregnant after that. Say our last breakup, saying she was pregnant. And so then that's where I had my daughter now. But
Okay.
I had to go through the whole thing of getting a test done, and she didn't want to get the test. She didn't want to take a paternity test and everything. It took me like 6 months to get her to take one. And so when she finally got one, I just remember one day, because I used to do my visits over at her house, so my daughter can get used to me when she was a baby. And so then she told me in the yard, she was like, well, if it wasn't your child, I would have gotten an abortion. So think about it. She's told me that if my now daughter wasn't mine, now the other one, she wanted to have an abortion. And I found she was messing with her ex around that same time. So basically, the one that she was pregnant with must have been his. And so then my thing is, in retrospect to now, Watchtower, so why didn't, God's supposed to be all-knowing and everything like that. So why in the world did he still allow me to be disfellowship? Not that I really care, but I mean, it was wrongful.
Right.
Right.
Right. They should have had some Holy Spirit tell them, bro, that wasn't even your baby anyway. She was messing around with you.
Right. I mean, they don't even have Jehovah's phone number nor his email address. So,
right.
I mean, that's how you know it's fake, man. Not one of them can contact Jehovah. You call Watchtower, somebody else gonna pick up the phone. It ain't gonna be Jehovah.
Right.
So I mean that so that obliterates all of that. But
man,
but
deep.
Yeah, man.
That's
like
deep.
Yeah. And so I think we had this discussion come up at our house, because I still have some relationship with my parents. I can only come to the house. They won't go out to eat with me or anything like that. But we had a discussion about my whole disfellowship, and then my dad went and asked the brothers about it, and they said that I told too much.
Really?
They said I said too much. That's what they said.
So
they
you were too honest.
They said I was saying too many things to get me out. They said I was just saying too much. I put my I kid you not. They said I was saying too much.
What do they mean by that? You were saying too much. What did they mean by that?
They said that I was saying things to try to get them to disfellowship me.
Oh.
I was just telling them everything.
Okay.
I was just telling them everything, like everything that was going on. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I went back. I wanted my slate clean. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to come clean.
Right. That's what they say. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to tell everything.
Right. Had I not said anything, then I wouldn't have been in this fellowship. I wouldn't have.
Wow. So they was
Yeah.
basically saying you said so much shit they didn't believe. They was like, this ain't happening. He just trying to get this fellowship. We go kill.
pretty much. Pretty much.
That is crazy. That is crazy,
Yeah.
KT.
Yeah, but I mean, now I went and me and my ex finally I called it off and everything. We broke up and everything, and then I get invited. See, I live the devil life somewhat. I just played, like I said before, I just played basketball, but I had a little bit of friends. You know what I'm saying? Some good friends. So then they invited me to a ugly Christmas sweater party.
Okay.
And so then I get invited to this ugly Christmas sweater party, and then that's when I see this really hot chick there.
Okay.
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 And so then, we kind of knew each other through a mutual friend. I mean, we had each other number before, but that was our first time meeting in person. And so then she took my daughter in, we went out on dates and everything like that. And I mean, sure enough, we ended up getting married. So I've been married for like a year now, but she was able to work with me through everything that I've been going through. I mean, even now, like I said before, like I had just had episodes from panic attacks, you know what I'm saying? Just basically emotions, stuff that I don't think that's bothering me. But my sister was saying that she even had to do this. Everybody need to see somebody. I mean, don't think that nothing's not wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with going to see a therapist, especially if you've really been damaged by Watchtower. Get yourself some help first before really getting back out into the dating scene, because, you don't know who's going to be able to really put up with it. You know what I'm
MKT, that
saying?
was a very, very good point, and I didn't even think to bring that. That is so good. That's the reason why the call-ins are so good because everybody has a different take. Can you repeat? Can you say that one more time, bro? Because that is a very, very valid point.
Everybody needs to go and talk to somebody, a therapist, somebody, before you get yourself back into a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs to do it now. I myself, my wife's a social worker, so she did exercises with me. You know, she
Mm-hmm.
was able to deal with it. But you got to think, everybody's not social workers. Everybody doesn't work with people with, and I'm gonna say it, with mental illness. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people do have mental illness when they come out of watch. There's nothing wrong with saying you have a mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to have that. You're going to have something from it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to think, man, like the conditioning. Every day or every meeting, what do we see? Burning up stuff, cities being blown up, people being killed. That can really harm, you know, that can really mess up somebody's mind. You know what I'm saying? I used to have dreams that God was going to try to kill me. You know,
Damn.
I used to have those dreams, man. I don't have them no more. You know, I ain't had Armageddon nightmare in a while, you know.
Mm.
But I mean, yeah, I used to have those. But I mean, now, you know, I don't, you know, it starts getting less and less. But that's because, you know, I have somebody that can actually work with me, you know, and I can actually, you know, listen to it and actually try to understand, you know, where I come from and everything like that, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a
Yep. So I
very
mean,
good point, MKT.
yeah,
Good stuff,
yeah. So I
bro.
mean, my thing, yeah, man. So, I mean, you know, just everybody, don't be afraid to go see somebody, go talk to somebody. You know, it's all right. You know,
Good point, because it helped
it's
me a
all
lot. I'm
right.
not gonna lie, it helped me a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Good stuff,
Yep.
MKT. Thanks for calling in,
Oh,
bro.
oh yeah. You know, I try to work my way in. You know, and everything like that. Hope everybody's doing well out there in the chat room and all that good
What
stuff.
you cooking, bro? What you cooking?
Man, we just making some lasagna. That's about it.
Man,
I
you
ain't
need to give
cooking it. They
everybody some
cooking it.
lasagna, man. What's up, man? I'm hungry as hell.
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
Thanks for calling in,
Yep.
bro. I appreciate you as always. We all appreciate you. I think some people subscribed to you from last time, so I'll go ahead and spam your channel and chat again. We'll get you some more subscribers too,
Yeah, for
bro.
sure. I'm on a break right now, but they can still, you know, check out all my videos because I'm just chilling out for a little bit right now,
Yeah,
you know,
I
and
had to do the
everything till
same
I,
thing because for a while it was too much, man. I found myself
man,
just it like when you start sharing that stuff on your channel, it starts bringing up so much shit. I started having nightmares. I was getting up sad and shit. I was like, dude, my girlfriend was at the time was like, I think you need to take a break, and I was like, I think you're right. I had no idea, but you're right. Sometimes you gotta take a break, man.
man, it is hard because I mean, there's two types of channel. You can have one where you just do live stream, that's more time consuming, but you have one where you have to do editing. See, my channel is one of those like I have to do editing and all this
Mm-hmm.
other stuff
Mm-hmm.
because when I'm getting my house, I'm going to have a little platform, try to get that set up, but like it's real time consuming doing the XJW video. Like a lot of people don't know how much work you have to do. Like I have an app on my phone that I do mine on,
Okay.
but it's still a lot of work still. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Writing a lot of times, writing the script out, you know, phone vlogs are all right. I mean, car vlogs are all right, but if you really want to do an in-depth video, then it takes time.
It
You know what
does.
I'm saying? It really does taking time to get everything right. You know, and it's real time consuming. Just sometimes, you just need to take a break, just sit back, maybe even study up a little bit and come back with something that the people will like, you know.
Right.
But
I agree.
I do know that I've noticed one thing, and this is another thing that's very maybe it pertains to time. I noticed that a lot of people are really like, getting on into different types of information now. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, maybe that may be another video you'll probably do later on. I
Mm-hmm.
think you touched on that a little bit on some of that esoteric knowledge and all the other stuff. You
Yes.
know, yeah. I mean, I noticed that a lot of XJWs are getting into that. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Yeah, a lot of people they're starting to continue to do research. And that's why I tell everybody, I don't tell you what to believe or what, but I mean, if you want to know what books to read, what history books, I mean, and everything like that, just let me know because I have a mountain of information. I think one website everybody needs to know is I think it's called sacredtext.org.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good site because I mean, if you think about it, the only religious text that we know about is the Bible. That's it. A lot of people, coming out of watch, that's all you know, but you don't know that there's other texts that's out there. You know what I'm saying? There's a
That's
whole bunch
true.
of other stuff that can really help you, really, really help you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Yep.
Definitely.
To get you. get you some good spiritual food, at the proper time.
Right, right. I feel you, brother. I feel you. Hey, it's always a pleasure talking to you, MKT.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time out. I know you cooking, man. Thanks for taking the time to call in and share that, drop them jewels on us, because that was a very good point about getting therapy. I wouldn't have even thought about saying it like that. Good point. Thanks for calling in, bro.
Yeah. All right, now, and I ain't calling nobody, stupid or nothing, but get some therapy. All
Definitely.
right.
All right, bro. Thanks for calling, man.
All right.
All right, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. MKT dropped some jewels on that. He dropped some jewels on that. What's up, you wishing? Good to see you in the chat. Good to see you in the chat. Yeah, that is a very good point. Getting therapy before you get into a relationship. It was I guess we don't realize like he said, the things that we go through being in that organization. I think there are just some things that people who aren't in the organization just aren't able to understand, and you can try to explain it, but it's just it's difficult for some of that to just sink in with people. Even with my last relationship, we had good communication and we talked about everything, but even years into the relationship, it was still difficult for her to understand why the holidays didn't really mean anything to me. And it kind of got to a point where I really just didn't even want to go and celebrate the holidays. And I think there was an issue. Her family would be like, "Where's Keith? Where's Keith?" And instead of her saying, well, he kind of has a problem with the holidays because of how he was brought up, and it's difficult for him to be around, us all having this family and he doesn't have one. She would kind of throw me under the bus a little bit and, say something like, "Oh, he's got to work," or he's doing this or that, instead of just taking the time, because she knew what it was, but she wouldn't just take the time to really just try to explain what it was. And I think it was because deep down she just really wanted me to be there, and the fact that I wasn't there was a bit of a problem. So it's difficult to find somebody that can say, "You know what, I understand that you've gone through that," because there were some times where we would talk about religious issues, and regardless of the organization, if we've been in the organization for an extended period of time, we know that Bible. We know that Bible. We know that Bible. And there would be times when we would talk about religious stuff. And I remember one of the last conversations that we had about religion, we were talking about a certain topic. And she said this, and it really, I wasn't, if she would say something crazy every now and then, I would always snap back and, it would be a wrap. But she said, her exact words were, "I know," and it was the way she said it. She said, "I know that organization messed you up, but what you're saying is not right." And I just kind of thought for a second, and it was, have you seen that Simpsons episode where the little boy, he was like, "Ow, my feelings." She said, I don't know what that organization did to you. I know they messed you up, but what they said is not, what you just said is not right." And I was kind of like, And I said, "Okay. All right." And I said, "Well, let's just read it from the Bible." And I was totally right. And I knew I was right. And I think deep down, she knew I was right. She was just a little upset because I knew so much more than she did, even though she thought I was messed up. And so there are some things that people who are outside the organization, when you start dating somebody, that has never been a Jehovah's Witness, there are some things that they are just not going to understand. And so when she said that, I was like, I was thinking, we've been together this, 7 to 8, 9 years, and you're still saying things like, I know they messed you up, but what you're saying is not right. I said, man. So I went ahead to proved that I was right. And after I proved that I was right, she didn't really want to say anything else. So I think that is a very valid point too about getting therapy, because there are going to be times when people are going to say things to you as someone who has never been in the organization that could be hurtful, because you know how you feel when you hear that, but they, not ever being in the organization, are used to saying things like that to people who are in the organization, because everybody just says mean shit about Jehovah's Witnesses. So even though you're not still in there, you still have this kind of little part of you where people will look at you and they know you've been in there. So they'll think, I'm going to say this because you still might be messed up a little bit. So they'll say some mean shit and you'll be thinking, hold on now. Am I messed up? Am I really messed up? Am I messed up? Am I messed up? For real? And you might start second guessing yourself, thinking, hold on. Am I messed up? And that's kind of a hurtful thing to hear come from somebody that you love and that loves you, for them to say, you're messed up. So it's like, okay. So yeah, it does take time to find somebody that can really understand. Cleo Banks says, so true. It's tough to find friends and a mate who are truly willing to understand. I feel like I'll end up with an XJW or someone who associates with it but left. Yeah, you just might, Cleo. Tahunga You Wishing says, that's tough. Yeah, it's kind of tough, man. Miss Belly 2 says, my ex was Catholic and he knows religion is man-made. KB says, so true. And some things that they are going to give you some harsh realities about yourself. Yeah. Today Forever says, from the age of 16 to 57, I didn't realize my life patterns, including dating, were effectively stunted by the damn Watchtower Associated. The damn Watchtower, man. The damn Watchtower. The damn Watchtower. I have some serious actual commitment issues. Lone wolf here. So, Angela Green says, that's an idea. XJW dating website. Yeah, I've thought about that before too, but I don't know, man. XJW dating website. That joint might end up being full of sex crazed maniacs / pedophiles. Nikki T says, a lady at my job was trying to share her beliefs and stormed out because I wasn't seeing it her way because of the JW brainwashing, and I took offense and didn't speak to her for weeks. You Wishing says, can we blame the Watchtower or is it our parents' fault? Ooh, good question. Good question. At what point do we stop blaming the Watchtower and start blaming our parents? Or do we ever do either? MKT says Watchtower parents are victims. That is true. Gypsy Lady says Mike D and I went to the same convention. It's a small world, really. We're going to have an XJW convention, and that joint is going to be lit. That joint is going to be fire. All right, guys. MKT, thank you for that great call, my brother. The number to call in 615-412-9335. Call in and share your experiences. Tatiana says, why do we need to find fault instead of take responsibility? All right. Let's get right to it. Miss Bay 2 says, my mother refuses to listen to me when I mention the scandals. Good idea. Tatiana says, I was a convert. A convert. MKT says, I'm an independent researcher. My wife believes in Jesus, but we both are able to understand each other. Nikki T says, didn't know that JWs were offshoots from Seventh-day Adventists until recently. Yeah. Today Forever says, I have very long-term relationships, but I exit before the finish line. I know it has something to do with abandonment and abuse by JW family. Therapy helped me to get that understanding. Miss Bailey 2 says, because we were duped at a critical times in our lives. A.K. Perez says, I started doing my own thinking, slowly got marked, then shunned. So today forever, that was a very interesting comment. You should call in and elaborate on that a little bit. Call in and elaborate on that. See, my thing is, I've always wondered if, even with my last relationship, she wasn't really into religion at first, which was something that I liked, and then later she started to get into religion more. And my thing is, if you believe something, fine, believe it. But if I ask you why you believe something, or if I ask you about some of the teachings in the book from which you get your belief system, and you don't know, then I'm going to lose respect for you. And then I'm going to question you, and I'm going to ask you, well, if you don't even know what the book that gives you the belief system that you adhere to says, then how do you know you even believe what you believe? That is where my issue comes in, because I'm just so analytical. And so for somebody to say I am a this, and then I say, well, what does this mean? And then you don't know, then you're just doing it just to do it. And I don't have respect for that. If I'm not in your organization, but I know more about your organization than you do, and I ask you why you believe that way, and you say because, and I say, but what about this? What does this mean? And you don't know, my respect is kind of out the window at that point. And I'm thinking, okay, if you say you're going to believe something, at least know why, and at least know everything about what you believe. All right. Ms. Belt says, in a relationship, do you even have to say you were a Jehovah's Witness? I don't. Is it necessary? That's a good question, guys. Let's talk about that. In a relationship, do you even have to say you were a Jehovah's Witness? I don't. Is it necessary? Now, if you have completely abandoned all beliefs that you had when you were in the organization, then maybe you don't. If somehow you got out of the organization and you weren't affected by anything that happened to you while you were in the organization, then maybe you don't. But if you are the slightest bit affected by being in the organization, i.e., you still have issues with holidays. Oh, we got a call. Let's see who this might be. You are on the K Fits My Life show. What's your name and where you calling from?
This is Today and Forever, Chicago.
What is up today and forever? How's your day going?
It is great. You started off my day because I couldn't be in the chat yesterday. So I listened to you getting ready to work and driving to work. I'm like, it was hot. I missed it.
Man, yesterday's show was amazing, man. It was crazy good.
Mm-hmm.
So what's on your mind?
Well, my comment, you asked me to call in and expound on it about my commitment issues, I guess. I don't know. You know, I've had several, like I said, I left when I was 16, so I didn't have the experience of dating with JWs or ex-JWs, any of that. But I had very good relationships. I could rarely even recall any that were not pretty decent. And I felt like I self-sabotaged them because I just wanted to let them go before they let me go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So how many relationships did that happen to you with?
Oh, I was engaged 3 times and never got married.
Really?
Yeah.
3 times?
Yeah. I was engaged 3 times and never made it to the altar for any of them.
What was the issue with each one of them? Was it the same issue or were them motherfuckers crazy?
Well, different issues. My first engagement, I basically did it to please my family because I had a baby out of wedlock. And I was never baptized in any of that. But they rolled me so hard that I said, okay, I'll get married. But then I just realized that was too young an age to get married, and I had goals and things that I wanted to do. And so I cut that one off.
Okay.
And then I was engaged again, and I stayed in that relationship for probably 13 years.
Okay.
12 to 13 years. And I had a ring on my finger for at least 10 of those years.
Okay.
And still, it was a similar situation because I lived with him, and certain family members wouldn't come to visit me, or, you know, they had attitudes, you know, their own personal things. I understand that now. But I kept that ring on my finger just to please them, I think. And he was a good guy and everything, but once again, I just didn't feel like I was worthy, I think. I don't know. So I left that relationship.
Okay.
And the third time I was engaged, he had asked me to marry him so many times, and I always said no. And at one point, I finally said yes. But that was actually a tragic situation. I think I would have married him. He had an accident. He rode Harleys, and he had an accident leaving my house, as a matter of fact, where he broke his ribs, and he was just really pretty torn up. And he had to even wait a year to have the surgery because the surgery is going to be so dangerous. So right before he went in the hospital to have the surgery, he asked me again, and I told him yes. Unfortunately, he never came out of the operating room alive.
Oh, man. I'm so sorry to hear that. That is so messed up.
Yeah, so that's my story. But and it's the funny thing, most of the people that I've dated for years, I still have a friendship with them because they weren't bad people, you know, most of them. So, like this one guy, I've dated him off and on for 15 years, and we're just like best friends.
Best friends with benefits.
And not even all the time benefits. It's just that we have an understanding.
Part-time benefits.
I helped raise his daughter.
Okay.
I helped raise his daughter.
Okay.
You know, so we remain friends even just based on that. We have a child between us, even though it's not my biological.
Okay.
And then another friend I dated, I'm going to say when I was about 18 and 19 years old, he and we've been friends that whole time, and I'm 59 now.
Okay.
We stopped dating. We only dated for maybe 4 or 5 years, but we've kept that friendship together all these years, even though through his exes, and he'll tell all of them, She's not going anywhere.
Wow.
And that's with no benefits either. So, look, I just can't commit to stay with anybody. And at this point now, I don't know that I could anyway because I'm very settled in my ways. But I do like dating. I still date.
Okay. Well, get out there and do your thing. Now, how do you tell people that that you used to be a Jehovah's Witness when you date them after maybe a few dates, or do you ever bring it up?
I'll pick up on that because they truly do not understand the concept. As far as me not having my immediate family, they just don't get it. Oh, well, you can fix that.
So true. I've heard that too.
So I just don't discuss that with them at all. At some point it comes out, because they wonder where's my family. I have three living siblings, and none of them speak with me. But the actuality is, in 2016, 2015, I actually started therapy. 2016 is when it really hit the plateau, and I actually preemptively shunned them before they could shun me.
Wow.
Yeah, because I had been being abused by them for a lot of years, I financially helped them, and that was the main thing with me. I was a single person, and I had a certain amount of income, and I helped a lot of my relatives, but it was so conditional what they gave back to me, So that's why that happened, and today I feel it's one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Good. Very good. Yes. All right. So thank you so much for that call, man. Thank you for sharing.
All righty. Take care. You're welcome.
You too, today forever. We'll see you in the chat.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Yeah. All right, now I think someone called in while she was on the phone. It was area code 908. 908. Call back in. And yes, if honestly, Seventh Heaven is so on it. I had literally grabbed the mouse to get ready to remove that statement, and it was like deleted by Seventh Heaven. So we are not going to allow any negativity in this room. Do not come into the room saying anything negative. If you don't have anything nice to say, this is not the place. Okay, this is not the place, because Seventh is going to get that junk up out of here. One of us is going to get it out of here. 9 times out of 10 is going to be Seventh, because she is on it. So, 908, please call back. The phone lines are open, you guys. If you want to call in, the number now 615-412-9335. And again, guys, if this gets to a point where I need to go ahead and purchase the software so I can put calls in the queue, I will do that. It seems like it's getting to a point where people really want to call in, and I really appreciate that. But before this, it's just never been needed. So if it is needed, please call. If it is needed, I will get that. So again, 908, call back if you can. That is 615-412-9335. And I was saying something when that call came in. I can't remember what I was saying. Somebody remind me what I was saying. I should have typed. I always say I'm going to start writing it down so I can get back to what I was saying. But shoot, Tatiana says, Keith. No, Keith ain't doing nothing, man. Seventh is on it. Seventh doesn't let anything slide through. But yeah, it is difficult finding, I think, something that, I remember what it was. There was a comment that I was talking about. We were talking about whether or not to let somebody know if you are a JW. Um, and I think I was saying, what's going on, B Fist? That's my cuz. Good to see you in the chat. Gypsy, yeah, I might go ahead and do another backup. Another mod just in case Seventh can't get here if she's busy, because Seventh might be out living her life one night and she said, "Look, dude, I don't have time for your show today." So yeah, we will. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think sometimes it is necessary to let somebody know that you are an XJW, because like that person said, when it gets to a point, if the relationship gets to a point where you guys are seeing each other regularly and they start wondering, how come I have never seen your family? So that might be a good reason to let somebody know, you know what, I don't see my family because they shunned me because was in this organization. So I think it is kind of necessary at times to let somebody know that you were in the organization. Gypsy Lily, do you mind being a moderator? If not, I've already made you one. So yeah. Nikki T says, I'm an orphan and only child. Really? Tell them that. Tatiana says, either way, stop overworking her. Tatiana, calm down, girl. Dang. Miss Bailey says, I agree, Angela. Sorry to break it to you. Holidays equal European fairy tale. Seventh Heaven says, yay. Yep, you and Gypsy Lily. Definitely. So yeah. Tatiana, you are hilarious. It's good to see you in the chat though. What's up, Dorinda? So yeah, guys, call in and share your experiences. Miss Belt says, I don't feel I'm hope. Here we go. Another call. Let's see who this is. You are on the My Life, Hey Fits My Life show. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, this is KB.
What's going on, KB? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am amazing as hell as always. What's on your mind?
I wanted to say something about why it might be difficult to date outside of the organization.
Okay.
I didn't realize for me, first, dating in the organization, we all know is hard. And it was difficult because I didn't like being treated like a fifth grader. Like, the whole chaperone thing and, being an adult and having a chaperone, it was just ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But the hard thing about dating outside the organization was I didn't realize how emotionally shut down I was. How emotionally suppressed I was. And it showed up for me in, just normal things that people outside of the organization do. Like if I was dating someone and he had a birthday, that's a huge deal for him. But somehow, I couldn't get excited about it. I couldn't be as enthusiastic about it as I felt like I should have been. Mm-hmm. And so it's almost like I had to make myself be excited or to make myself buy a birthday present or buy, a gift, and not seeing it as sort of like honoring him on his special day. Like intellectually, I knew it that that's what it was.
Okay.
But I couldn't feel it. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Understood.
And the same thing around the holidays, like feeling like, that's Christmas, for example, like that's a big family celebration and, people are gathered and they're enjoying each other's company and all of that around this particular holiday. And it took me a long time to like I said, intellectually, I knew what it was about, but emotionally, it took me a long time to like feel, oh, this is like a happy family thing. And, people are enjoying getting together and they're enjoying each other's company. And so all of that was like almost like retraining myself, like just to feel. And I think also too, just like you hear so many like horror stories about, dating people in the world. And I mean, that's one thing that the organization is really on about. Like they give you all these horror stories about bad things that happen to people, when they are out in the world and they're dating or whatever. And you carry that with you and you have these misconceptions in your head. And it takes a lot, I think, to kind of just make yourself see people normally, like, like there's no threat here, you're like almost paranoid a little bit. And it just takes a while to kind of like strip all that away so that you can just see someone for who they really are versus who you've been trained to believe that they are.
KB, you made a very interesting point. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How
Sure.
did you realize that you were emotionally closed off?
I had one particular boyfriend that I was dating who was really big on, like his birthday was like he would shut down a city block to celebrate his birthday. And, it was a big deal for him. And, here I was, I didn't leave the organization till I was like 25.
Mm-hmm.
So I had been in from the age of 5 until 25, 20 years of not celebrating my birthday or anybody else's.
Mm-hmm.
And so he would, and I remember like him like making arrangements and like, and wanting me to be part of the plans. And then like, he was like, you're not excited about this.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurt me in two ways, because I think to him it meant that I didn't care about him, which wasn't true.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that. It was just I could not understand why this concept was such. And not only that, it took me a long time to even like remember the day of his birthday. Like I would forget the day. Like
mm-hmm.
And he's like, how could you possibly forget my birthday? Like this is and it would just be like and then I had to explain like, I'm sorry, it washes over me. I don't know why I just can't, it doesn't click with me that this is something important. And that was like a big thing between us, because it like with anyone, like you forget their anniversary, you forget their birthday. And it's like, what do you mean you forgot? It's like, you don't care about me. And it's like, no, it's not, it has nothing to do with you. It's just that I'm not programmed to even acknowledge that. Like, so that was like a big wake up call for me. Like, oh my gosh, like I am not even like able to do normal things that people who are dating do, like this is nothing to other people. And so like when I was saying in the chat about like, dating people outside and them making you see harsh realities about yourself. And that was one of the things that I saw, like, oh my goodness, you're right. Like I'm shut down. And, I had to like literally like wake myself up around, that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was interesting in a lot of different ways.
Now, are you dating someone now?
Currently, no, I'm not. So.
Okay. Is it? What's so funny?
No, because it's a funny question, because everybody that's a common question. Are you dating right now, or But no, I'm not right now. No.
And I only ask because are you not dating now because do you feel that you are still closed off, or are you not dating now?
Oh.
You know, does the way that you feel the programming happen have something to do with you not dating now?
No, I feel like now, so I had a lot of like different things. My mom had been really sick, and I had been caring for my mom and everything. So that kind of put a lot on hold for me. And so now that she's, taken care of, like, I feel like I can be more attentive to my, my social dating life. But I also am a little older and mature now. And so I feel like I'm more, that I'm really paying attention to like the quality of my next relationship. Like now I know more of what I want. I think, when you're a little younger and you're kind of just figuring it out, especially like when you're coming out of the organization. I mean, what we're trained to look for in a relationship is so skewed. Like who bases their partner's eligibility on how many times he raises his hand to answer questions in a watch tower, or if he is a ministerial servant, or if he goes out X number of hours, in fields. How does that qualify anybody to be an eligible partner? Do you know what I mean? It's like
such an amazing point. You guys are making so many great points. These are the things, what you're saying, KB, and I asked that question about it being emotionally closed off because I was accused of the same thing in my relationship. And so I didn't realize it either.
Yeah.
I really didn't. And hearing you say that, and I even think there's a lot of my friends, like the persons in the chat now, Dorinda Nicole, she's like, her and her husband are like family to me. And they will invite me to their house like on Christmas or Thanksgiving. And it's a huge deal to them.
Sure,
but to me, it's like, oh, okay. And I'll go sometimes, and I enjoy associating with them because they're my family. But I'm there because I like them, not because it's Christmas or because it's Thanksgiving. Like that shit means nothing to me at all. Yeah. And there's really nothing. I feel like there's nothing I can do at this point in my life to turn the I love the holidays switch on. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's difficult to find somebody that understands that that's the way you are programmed, and it's hard to turn that off.
It is. And for me, like the holidays are just, it doesn't really mean anything truly to me. It's just a fun thing to do. Do you know what I mean? It's just about, it's like another kind of party to me.
Right.
But the connection that I got from dating was that it's for them, it's about family. It's about being together. It's about sharing with one another, the special occasion. And that's what kind of woke me up emotionally about that family connection. And, also, too, someone had mentioned in your chat about, is this about the parents or the organization? It's about both, I think. I mean, I came from somewhat of a dysfunctional family. And so some of those traditional kind of warm and fuzzy feelings that people have around family, I didn't necessarily grow up with. And I think this organization attracts dysfunctional people. I'm sorry. I just think they do, and a lot of that kind of brokenness gets exasperated because the organization does not foster healthy relationships. It breaks relationships up. I mean, how is it that you can be, say, at a memorial and you might have a disfellowship child there, and there's a newcomer. So you're all over the newcomer. Oh, hi, welcome. Never mind, that's my child. I'm not talking to him. Because he's disfellowship. But you, I'm so happy to see you. I mean, how does that make any sense?
Right.
It just, that sense of dysfunction just gets so entrenched in someone had mentioned therapy. I think therapy is absolutely necessary. I think that just kind of helping people understand the ways in which they process themselves and the way they process relationships are distorted, and you kind of have to help clear that vision. I mean, the thing that really, really, I think affects people the most is that your relationship with yourself is distorted, and that distortion was highlighted 100-fold in that organization. There is nothing about you that organization will allow you to feel healthy and grounded within yourself. You're taught to disassociate from yourself.
That is such a great
point. You can't highlight any of your personal talents. You can't pursue any personal goals. You can't think for yourself. You're taught that your sense of and what are you taught? That your heart is treacherous, that you can't, the way that you think is damaged or evil, and you need to turn over your thinking process to, the organization. So if you can't feel anchored and comfortable within yourself, how are you going to relate to somebody else? How are you going to be able to relate to them as an individual if you can't relate to yourself? You've been taught to disassociate from yourself. So I could go on and on and on. I don't mean to take up all your airtime.
No, but you know what? Normally I would be like, okay, let's end this call. But you are saying things that are so right, Kay. And a lot of times, I do these shows because not just to have a show to talk about, but a lot of times we deal with things, or there are things that we need to deal with that we aren't even aware that we need to deal with.
So true.
And when you say things like, when you bring the points out like what you're saying right now, these are things that myself, I'm thinking, you know what? I've heard that before, but I never knew it. I never saw it myself. And it sometimes it takes somebody to say, you know what? You're dealing with this, and this.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, no, I'm not. And they might just say, okay. And then when you go away and think about it, you're like, damn, yes, I am.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, again, like what I was saying about harsh realities about yourself, that like dating on the outside, because one boyfriend actually said to me, he said, listen, he goes, you're really playing your life pretty small. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, you're smart, you're attractive, and like and you're not really using your gifts the way, you're not really capitalizing on all that you could. You're like playing small. And he said that it actually physically hurt him to watch me play small to myself. And that, like, talk about that when you said you had that ouch moment. I was like, ow. Like, oh man, I think what you're saying is true.
Right, which makes it hurt even more.
And more, exactly. Like I'm doing myself in. Oh my God.
Right.
Why? So I mean, I'm grateful for the people that have come into my life and have held that mirror up to my face, so I can actually see myself. Because I think without those interactions, I wouldn't have been able to grow, and to understand like how deeply stunted, I had been, when I was under the influence of that organization. And I mean, I think like what you were saying, I had talked to you the other day and we were talking about, the organization. Are these things by design, or are they by, incidentally, they're doing these things to people? Either way, it's evil. It's pretty sinister.
It is.
This effect that it has on people and the long lasting kind of, damage.
It is.
But,
great point.
Yeah. But I think what that other person who was saying about therapy, and I started therapy, I think a year after I left. I think that's crucial. I think people definitely need to, even if you didn't, make it like a lifetime thing, but just to have that mirror for somebody else to show you, like, you know, this is what it is. This is what you're dealing with. This is what you're doing. So you can start to see your own patterns and work on them, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Very good call, Kay. Thank you so much for calling
You're
in,
welcome.
man. You always bring
Thank
the
you.
fire. Thank you for calling. You going to stay in the chat?
I am, yes.
All right. Well, we'll see you in the chat, Kay. Thank you so much for calling.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Dude, what she said was so true. So true. I literally couldn't. She was saying so many things that I've been told or I've thought and I didn't realize it. Not knowing the things that you're dealing with, or not knowing the things that you need to deal with, is something that is probably so rampant with people who have left that organization. Now, area code 516, call back. She was on the phone when you called, so please call in. Area code 516, please call back. There you are. You are on the K Fits My Life show. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Daniel from Buffalo.
What's going on, Daniel from Buffalo?
About Jehovah's Witness, like, I was trying to get into that, and the guy who introduced me to that, like, 2 years ago, his name was Frank. Met him at this camp, and he was telling me that, like, you guys don't celebrate Christmas and Easter, and he said something like Bible, like New World Bible or something, and then we're like just talking, drinking beers, and the bushes start moving, and like the bushes start moving, and like wants to see what that was.
Oh my God, guys. That's how you know your show is getting popular. You start to have trolls. Oh my goodness, man. So funny. You know what? Oh, trolls, man. Trolls. I'm going to go ahead and block that number real quick just in case the troll gets bold. So anyway, yeah, that was a troll. Hey guys, we are popular. Our show is popping. We get trolls now. But what she said was so great. That was an amazing point, because the emotional disconnection is something that I think I dealt with too, and I didn't realize it. I never really dealt with the holiday part. That was the big thing for me, and I would do things because I knew it meant a lot to her. You know what I mean? Even like her last birthday, which was in July. I know her birthday means a lot to her. You know, when she would do stuff for me for my birthday, I would appreciate it, but I would always say, you don't really have to do anything for my birthday because I really don't care. But, you know, it was a big deal to her. And so, you know, I would do things. Her last birthday, I turned my house into a spa, and I had, you know, like ocean scenes on the projector, and she came in and I had a little menu, and she, you know, I had the tub ran, and I had these special bath beads and candles, and I served her all these different types of fruit, and I had the hookah and oil in the water, so she got to come in, and I just said, okay, you know, the tub is ready. You can go bathe first. And then she would get out of the tub, and I gave her like an hour massage. And then I had a menu, and I had all these different dinners. And I was like, here, what do you want for dinner? And will be your dinner for the night. And I cooked. And, then this is like a whole evening. But I did that because I knew it was important to her. Birthdays and holidays mean absolutely nothing to me. And that's one of the things that even with not even just intimate relationships, but friendships, people don't really understand when you say, when is this holiday? Because people will say something to me like, oh, well, on this holiday, we're going to do this. And I'll still to this day, I say, okay, what day is that? Because I don't know. I literally don't know. And they're like, don't you know? I'm like, no, I don't know. What is that holiday? But the being emotionally closed off thing, I didn't realize that I was exhibiting those things. And to have somebody tell you that when you don't realize it, you almost think that person is being a jerk to you. But later in life, you can look back, like KB said, you realize this is something that may have been happening because of the organization. You know what I mean? Today Forever says, every troll, I'm going to take a drink. Let's get tipsy in honor of the success of this channel. Turn up. Oh, man. KB says, that's true, Keith. I had my very first birthday at 30. My friends surprised me, and they were mildly offended when I said I expected them to nothing at all. They thought I was trying to say they weren't good friends. Yes. And my first birthday was my girlfriend. She threw a birthday party for me, and I didn't even know. It was a surprise, and I was thinking, wow, I appreciate it so much, but it wasn't anything that I thought was necessary. I didn't think it was necessary at all, but she did it because it was important for her to know that I had a birthday party, and I appreciated that. But if it hadn't have happened, I promise it wouldn't have mattered at all. It really wouldn't have mattered to me. All right. So guys, if anyone else wants to call in that is not a troll, he said he just earned a Tony Award. Yes. Put the number in the chat. 615-412-9335 is the number to call. Please call in with your experiences trying to date, being an XJW. Let's see. Seventh Heaven says, my first B-Day was at 24, and my boyfriend bought me 24 gifts for each one I missed. It was the sweetest thing. That is awesome. That is awesome. I am really just still kind of blown away by KB's call. That was a very, very good point. Miss Montblanc says going to school with it was the worst. No prom, no parties. I ended up going to my girlfriend's prom. And I never got to go to my own prom, but I snuck in went to hers. We had a good time too. It was fun. KB said, that's adorable. He's a keeper. Seventh Heaven said, nope, I left him. Dang. She said I was dumb back then. How many people in the chat have had that same experience where they were told or felt that they were emotionally closed off from someone and didn't even realize it? Today Forever says, 7th Heaven, my 21st, my boyfriend did the same thing. He called it 21 Nights in Tunisia. That sounds like a movie. That sounds like a movie that comes on Cinemax. 21 nights in Tunisia. Cleo Banks says, when in the relationship would you tell you are an XJW? First Tinder date? JK, not on Tinder. I have never been on Tinder. I just can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. Angela Cohen Green says never. Okay, somebody call in. Let's talk about that. Do you tell someone that you are a ex-Jehovah's Witness? And if so, when? Call in. Let's see. Let's get a poll on that. Today Forever says it was a freak show. All right. It was a freak show. I'm glad somebody's having a freak show. Miss Bailey 2 says, you know the Watchtower Bible Tract Society has stock in Cinemax, so they still win. That's funny. So do we think that we should, what's the consensus on that? Do we think we tell people that we are XJWs and when? Let's see. We have a call. You are on the K Fits My Life show. What is your name and where are you calling from?
This is Angie from San Antonio, Texas.
What's going on, Angie from San Antonio, Texas? What's on your mind?
Hey, the only people that I told that I used to be a Jehovah Witness were the people that I was engaged to be married. That's it.
Really? You waited that long?
Yeah, because the thing with dating is I did just that. I dated. So even though I had sex when I was younger, I really didn't have sex when I was dating. And so I was just so surprised that so many people did, especially all the church people that I was meeting. You know, I mean, and even, you know, when I was on the dating website before, like, I would say it was raining pastors and all of them talking about, you know, they got to try it out under the hood. And I was like, you are joking, aren't you?
Like, pastors were saying that to you?
I'm not the one. I'm not the one.
Pastors were saying that to you?
Huh?
Pastors were saying that to you?
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of pastors on the dating website saying they're looking for a first lady and this and that. And I was just shocked because since I got into being a Jehovah's Witness, like by the age of 12, by the time I got out of it when I was 20-something and actually went to a church and everything, I had led such a sheltered life that I was just surprised that people lied the way they did. Like, I would just look like, you're not afraid to just lie and go to sleep at night? I mean, even from coming out of Catholicism, that was something I just didn't do, saying that little prayer, now I lay me down the street. I didn't lie. I was known for not lying. Even if I was going to get my butt beat as a child, I wouldn't lie.
Okay.
So I was just so surprised with people, the way they just had this idea that sex was just so casual.
Interesting.
So for me, I look at the good side of it, being a Jehovah's Witness, well, I'm sure I still would have had the same values, probably being in Catholicism at a young age. I just had certain values, and the chaperoning and everything, that was a protection for me. So I don't regret that at all. And I have a sister, my youngest sister, she married a Jehovah's Witness, and they, you know, she had her apartment and everything at a young age, and they were engaged, but they weren't chaperoned. He'd spend the night over her apartment and everything, but they said they were both still virgins when they got married, though.
Wow. So
yeah.
you think
and they're still married.
You think being in the organization the way you were was a safeguard for you?
because, like I said, I led a sheltered life. So for me, it was just a continuation that of a belief that I just had from a young age that it was my intent to wait until I got uh, married to have sex.
Mm-hmm.
And so I find that that's a rare thing, like in the church today.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think I would even be able to. I don't think I could do that.
What's that?
Wait until I was married to have sex with somebody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if
And so even today, like being married, I've been divorced now 3 times, and even my friends that are Catholic, they're like, well, what? You don't know someone until you live with them.
mm-hmm.
And I was like, I understand what you're saying and everything. And the first time when I got married, it was someone I knew from high school, and we were married 25 years. And you could be married, even if you could live with somebody. Believe me, we didn't live together before we got married, though. We got married. He was in the military. And after 25 years, still people change.
That is true.
So that's still not going to help you. It's a ever learning process. And people change. Just like if you get married or you're in a relationship at a young age, you're not going to normally be that same person 10 or 20 years from then. So the
true.
person that you married has changed. If you grew any at all, you change. Different things change about you.
Okay. You are so right. So right.
Mm-hmm.
So right. Yeah. Well, thank you for that call, because you just that was a lot of information. I think we're going to have a lot of things to talk about your call.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. I think Tatiana wants to call in. She's at area code 51. She just put in the chat. She's 512. Tatiana, call back in now that we are free. That last call was really interesting. How many people here? Okay. Hold on 1 second before you call in, Tatiana. My aunt says, does anyone have relatives that were never JW, and how did you treat them? How did they treat you? Very good question. Very good question. She says one more time, does anyone have relatives that were never JW? How did you treat them, and how did they treat you? Very good question. Very good question. Very good question. Okay, Tatiana, call back in 512. All right. Seventh Heaven says, to answer my aunt's question, she says, yes, I have relatives that are not JW, and they treated me like I was just a goody two-shoes. Today Forever says, my non-JW family are my rock. Angela says, as just regular family members. Ms. Montblanc says, well, Aramis, I'm on the other end, and being pretty can be a curse as well. Not around me. Aramis Ponder says, I don't really care about people judging me. It just comes with life. I have piercings and tattoos, so people find it disturbing, but it's a big reason why I don't go to church. Interesting. XJW Survivor says, yes, we kept them at arm's length, and they were nothing but kind to us. XJW Survivor says they deserved more love. I'll admit that. Miss Bailey 2 says, I love my family, but I barely spend time with them because I don't get invited to holiday events, and they are virtually silent since I got disfellowshipped. My big mouth mother told them my business, and they are kinda shunning me too. Miss Bailey says my family was very close. We all went to church. When my mom started to study, we lost the connection for years. I think my mom tells my relatives to shun me. Really? Tatiana says, my family was never in, so when I converted, I really lost any bond I had. Cleo Banks says, most of my family aren't JWs. I treated them like they had the plague, and now it's too awkward to be around them. I hate that religion destroyed relationships with my grandmother and cousins. Whew, man. Man. It's so funny. My aunt and I were discussing this earlier today because, as I've told you all before, I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. My mom was a Jehovah's Witness when I was growing up. My father wasn't. My aunt, my grandmother, and my great-grandmother were never Jehovah's Witnesses. And they didn't care about that Jehovah's Witness shit. My aunt, my grandmother, my great-grandmother were always like, we having Thanksgiving dinner. We having Christmas dinner. We got some Christmas stuff over here for Keith. Come over here and get these gifts. And my aunt was saying today, she said, well, that was kind of disrespectful. And I said, well, they could have said no. And my aunt said, yeah, they could have. They did take them gifts, didn't they? I said, yeah, they did. So there was a little bit of hypocritical stuff going on in our family because in once you're on the K Fits My Life show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, my name's Cal Delaney. I'm calling from Georgetown.
What's on your mind, man?
Not much. I was just watching a show. You were ex-Jehovah's Witness? You are an ex-Jehovah's Witness?
Yes.
Okay. So what is it exactly that dating as an ex-Jehovah's Witness is brought about? What kind of difficulties has that?
Well, let's go ahead and watch the show, man. We're talking about it now, all right? Thanks for calling in, brother. Don't call in with no bullshit. Don't call in with no bullshit. If you're going to be a troll, be a good one. Be a good troll. Don't call in with no bullshit. Ms. Montblanc says, Keith, we had the same families. Oh, really? Is that true, Ms. Montblanc? Ms. Montblanc, call in and share your experiences. Call in and share your experiences, please, Ms. Montblanc. Everybody take a drink. Another troll. Take a drink. Take a shot or whatever you got. Take a shot or whatever you got. Margarita. All right. You are on the K Fits My Life show. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, K Fits. It's Michelle. How are you?
What's going on, Michelle? How's everything going with you?
Good. You just sparked something in my mind. Raised as a JW, you know, I missed out on having a relationship with all my cousins, but thankfully they understood me once I told them about, 8 years ago or whatever it was, that, I no longer believe, I'm not in that anymore. And they accepted me with open arms, and they told me, my one cousin, she put her arm around me, and she says, it's okay, honey, you were in a cult. You just didn't know it. And I remember them telling me that, like, a long time ago. And I was like, no, it's not a cult. I was trying to stick up for the organization. But if I could go back, trust me, I wish I would have asked them more questions because they obviously knew more than me.
That's true, and that's the same thing. Like you said, it happened to me, and I'm thinking, what? It's so weird when people say things like that to you. The way
Yep.
you receive it at that moment, you think, man, for real, you just said that to me, but it's kind of true, you know?
Yep. But so we're close now, and we all live like different parts. But I mean, we get together for weddings, birthdays, and I really enjoy it because it's like they didn't hold a grudge or, you know what I'm saying? Like they totally are against shunning. They think what my mom is doing to me and my siblings is like what's wrong with them? Like they want to be Christians, but then they can't even love you. They're like Jesus is about love, and you know, like they just cannot comprehend like how they could do that to me and my kids.
Right.
But it's okay. I have you guys, and I made new friends, so I have my own family.
There you go. And that's what we were talking about yesterday. Sometimes we just have to find our own family and create our own family. Okay?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate your call.
Okay, good. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Another great call. Another great call. That happens, man. If you guys haven't followed me on Instagram, please follow me on Insta at KFitsMyLife. Follow me so that we can, a lot of times I post on Insta too. So, all right, let's see what's going on. Okay. You were on the K Fits My Life show. What is your name and where you calling from?
Hi, my name is Ryan Grant. I'm calling to let you know that the Democratic Party of Virginia has free boat rides back to Africa.
Negatory. We'll block that number too. Oh my goodness. It's getting heavy, guys. It's getting heavy. It is getting heavy. All right, so Mike D said ass. So dumb. All right, let's look back at the chat. No, that wasn't 772. 512, call back in if you want to. I think that was Tatiana. 772, call back in if you like. Let's see. Miss Bailey 2 says, I feel like we ignored the family for 30 years, and now we want back in, but we missed the best moments of our lives. I was teasing you, Keith, not trying to be mean. Okay, I saw that. Yeah, I didn't think you were trying to be mean. Miss Bailey 2, come on now. No problem. HCD says, to my aunt's question, I was the only JW on my side of the family, walking into the Borg at 20, and it really created a divide. They eventually respected it. That no part of Satan's world mindset got me. All right, let's see who this is. Let's see what we got here, guys. You are on the K Fits My Life show. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, Keith. This is Mount Blanc. This is Miss Mount Blanc in Houston, Texas.
Well, hello, Miss Mont Blanc from Houston, Texas. How are you doing? I am amazing
we have the
as
same
hell.
families, kid.
Do we?
Are you? Oh, my God. Listen, I have 3 different sides of this. I have a biological family. I have a step family, which is where the Jehovah's Witnesses came in. So I grew up in that organization, and they were difficult to say the least. It was you go to school and you just went to school. Every different time there was a party or if there was anything that involved interacting with other people, negative. Now, if the Jehovah's Witnesses had something, of course you could participate in that. But whatever you do, you are not to be alone with a boy, or you're not to stray away from the people, or you're not to have any kind of conversation outside of earshot where someone could hear it.
Okay.
Now, during the holidays, it was real fun. holidays at school were difficult because, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with Valentine's Day. We can't even eat candy? No. I'm seriously? But now we going to leave school, drive down to the Kroger, and buy nothing but what? Candy.
Right.
So what's the difference? There was none. But now when they tried to, if we were children and we asked about the biblical portion of it, of course, there was no answer. Mm-hmm. There was no answer. Mm-hmm. And until this day, there is still no answer. So how can you tell me that this is biblically based, but you can't, there's nothing in the Bible that says you can't have Valentine's Day. There's nothing in there that says you can't have Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. That's all man-made. Mm-hmm. Or you can't have Christmas. We don't know when. We don't celebrate Christmas because Jesus wasn't born on Christmas, but he was born sometime.
Okay.
He was born, right? Hell, he was born, right?
Okay. Okay.
So, but we're not allowed to celebrate. Well, of course, that played into the dating circuit. Mm-hmm. So if it was time to have Valentine's, of course, everybody's all coupled up. Mm-hmm. Well, not me, because I couldn't celebrate any of those things.
Right.
And then family-wise, well, they would send gifts over and say, oh, well, we want you to have this and we want you to have that. Well, my stepmother is the one who brought in the Jehovah's Witnesses. Mm-hmm. And she was an avid Jehovah's Witness, one who was almost, I want to say, obsessive with it. Mm-hmm. She couldn't miss a meeting. She couldn't miss a Bible study. She couldn't miss a field service. I could miss it. She couldn't miss it.
Okay.
And if she missed one, well, you were made to feel guilty about that. And then, of course, if you interacted with people at the Kingdom Hall and you missed a service, of course, they wanted to know why you weren't there. And if they had these congregations, especially mine, it was a family congregation, so it was pretty clicked up. Mm-hmm. So, and if you weren't in the right family, you weren't in the right clique, you wasn't dating anybody. You just forget it. You was going to be alone and lonely for the rest of your entire life.
Okay.
So I'm saying we had the same families. Now, my aunts were like, here are your gifts over here. You can come get them. And we ain't even worried about the Jehovah's Witness bullshit because we know that's bullshit. You don't know it, but we do. And one day you're going to realize it, and these gifts will still be here. Now, we're going to give them to you in 1990. You ain't going to pick them up to 2009, but they still keep them. Do you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
And every year we're going to buy you something. And every year we're going to celebrate with you. Well, I think about all the fun things that I missed out on because someone else told me I'm to believe this way only. And any religion, in my opinion, that says you can only believe this way, you can only hang out with these people, you can only do things this one way, and you can't have any other choices, that's a cult. I've learned that now.
So how has that affected you going forward have you had these same issues in your dating life?
I'm married.
You're married. So did you have any of them before you got married, when you were trying to get married?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I had to get out of that organization to get married. Nobody wanted to date me. Nobody wanted to have anything to do with me. I wasn't in the right clique. Mm-hmm. And you have to visualize me to understand it. Mm-hmm. This is the 80s, 90s. I am a 6'2" Amazon. They just thought I'm some exotic creature. How many 6'2" men want to date a 6'2" woman who wears heels? Wasn't happening. Yeah, it wasn't happening. And I'm very strong and opinionated.
Okay.
So you don't get to come in and tell me you need to be the submissive wife. Mm-hmm. Nigga, who you talking to? So you know that didn't go well.
Okay.
I had my own job. I made my own money, and I did that against the teachings of the organization. You know, you're not supposed to go to college. You weren't supposed to be smart. You weren't supposed to have a mind of your own. Mm-hmm. You weren't supposed to be able to think by yourself. Mm-hmm. Well, I could, and I did.
Okay.
So I knew that if I don't get out of here, I'm never going to get married, ever. Mm-hmm. And then, now, did you guys have they were almost like a dating service, arranged marriages going on?
No.
They would say, well, I want my daughter to date this particular family's boy.
Really?
Yeah, Yeah, what if you don't want to date him? What if you don't like him? I want my daughter to date this particular family's son. I want my son to date this particular family's daughter. What if you don't like them? What if you don't want to date them? And so I had all of that I'm up against as well. So I thought, nah, this isn't really for me. And then, of course, you also, or at least I was dealing with, after a certain age, you're an old maid. Really?
Really?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's very difficult. Now, my church family, on my mother's side, who passed away when I was very young, and my father remarried, and that's how we came to know these people. They would tell me, when you meet someone and you fall in love, you marry them. Well, that was better in my mindset than I have to marry a Jehovah's Witness. I have to date within the organization. And they only wanted you to hang out with people who were Jehovah's Witnesses. You only could be friends with people who were Jehovah's Witnesses. You could only have knowledge and conversation with people who were Jehovah's Witnesses, because then they could keep you brainwashed. If you stepped outside of that, then you could see, well, gee, secular music, you're not going to die if you listen to it.
Right.
If you eat a piece of birthday cake, you're not going to have a heart attack and just pass out right there.
Right.
If you go to a Christmas party, the gates of hell are not going to open up and swallow you.
That's right.
But they didn't show me that. They showed me what they wanted me to know. And that's why it took a long time for me to realize there's nothing wrong with me. There's something wrong with you.
There you go.
I saw a lot of unhappy families there. Women who married men who were cruel to them, beat them, cheated on them, but they couldn't leave because, it would be frowned upon in the congregation. Well, I left and went off to college and got a degree and became what I am today because I realized, I need to get out of here. Because if I don't get out here, I will be an old maid. I'll be 60 years old and never had a husband, never have children. And not to mention, then they were teaching, don't date, don't get married, wait for the new kingdom. Well, I was like, well, when is it?
You say you want something
Midnight
now.
next week. Do you understand me? Because I'm not going to be 20 forever. When is it?
Right.
Especially after y'all told me I only have this small window of opportunity to get married. But you want me to wait until the new kingdom, because they were always teaching the end of the world is coming in the morning.
Right.
It's going to be in 45 minutes, 13 seconds and counting. Well, then when that time came and went, it was never true.
Correct.
So, my gosh, I'm telling you, we had the same family. I don't know how we did it.
That is so true, Ms. Montblanc. Thank you so much for this so entertaining call. This is hilarious. I'm enjoying this.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, because it was a hell of a ride for me.
But so, you got through. You're married and you're happy now, right?
I am. And I'm married to, well, he's not an atheist. He believes in something, but he doesn't believe in God. So I told him, boy, you're an atheist. But I've never been happier.
Very good.
You have a good evening.
Thank you so much, Ms. Montblanc, for calling in. I appreciate your call.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Great call, guys. Great call. Thank you guys so much for calling in tonight. This is another great show. Now, we had someone from 631 to call. So if that 631 person can call in again, the phone lines are open now. We also have someone from 610 call. If that person can call back, the lines are open as well. You guys are making this show so much. It's so interesting, man. Just think when when I first started this show, it was usually about 45 or 50 minutes. It's almost 2.5 hours in now. and we still have people calling and sharing stories. The chat is still going. This is great, man. Thank you guys so much. I think this is Tatiana. Let's see. You're on the K Fits My Life show. Is this Tatiana?
Hey, babe.
What's going on, Tatiana?
Not much. Just listening to you and all the other people.
That's what's up. So go ahead and lay something on us. Now, I think someone had a specific question for you. Do you remember what that was?
It was something about my ex-husband. Let me go up and see if I can.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to go all the way back, but I think someone did ask you something about your ex-husband and how you guys. I can't remember how that question was worded.
I don't remember either.
Hey, if the person that asked Tatiana that question,
I see it. No, I found
you see it? Okay.
It says, they asked if I converted because of him, and I feel like we've discussed that one in length. But yeah, for the most part, yeah. If it hadn't been for him, I wouldn't have been a JW. And do I feel that knowing that he grew up JW helped explain things about his personality? Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell
Go
yeah.
in. Let's share.
I see that better now as an ex-JW than I did when I was a JW.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because, I mean, when you're everything is kind of rose-colored when you are a JW.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, things are just kind of really rose-colored. Personality flaws, you know, but you kind of see it for what it is when you take a step back.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So go into what was the first part of that question? So go into detail. Why do you agree? Why do you say hell yeah when why are you so hell yeah-ish about your response when you to that question? Because you're like, hell yeah. I mean, come on. Why'd you say that? Why do you say that? Share.
Because like he has a like I legit have the papers from the psychologist. He has a narcissistic personality. And I think that is very much, I don't know if narcissistic men are just like he was raised in, so I don't know if like they draw narcissistic men or they like the organization creates narcissistic men. I don't know how that works exactly, but it does seem to me that there is a much higher number of narcissistic people, well, specifically men, within the organization than there is outside of the organization. And so I feel like a lot of that has to do with him being raised in it and him sticking to it. He's one of 5 kids. And all of his brothers and sisters left. He was the only one that clung to the organization. So, and he's the only one with like that narcissistic personality.
Interesting. So let's do this. So we've answered that question. So let's bring the conversation to the topic tonight. So after you left that situation, was it difficult for you dating as someone who has just left the organization?
I'm sorry, what would you say?
I said, was it difficult for you dating after you left the organization?
Was it difficult? I think it was difficult for me just simply because of I'm still just trying to date. I'm still just trying to figure this whole thing out. Does dating after divorce or separation ever, is it easy? I mean, I don't really have much to compare to. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just old. Like, I feel like, okay, I was dating like in my young 20s, and then I got married, and, you know, that was a decade of my life just pretty much gone. And now I just feel like maybe I'm just old and I have kids and I'm going through divorce. And hey, by the way, I just exited a cult. Like, I mean, just throw that in there on top.
You got a lot going on, huh?
I don't know if it's the fact that I left the cult that's making things difficult, or just add that to it. I don't know.
You are hilarious. So you haven't had, so your experience leaving the organization and dating is not affected by you leaving the organization. It's just affected by how you feel about dating now at this point in your life.
I think it's a mixture of both. I don't think, okay, because I'm a convert. I wasn't raised in. So I'm one of the fortunate people that did have that pre-cult personality.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went in, and I come out almost a decade older with a lot more baggage and hopefully a whole lot more maturity and insight, and I'm not the same person that I was going in. So I've had to like relearn myself, rediscover myself, reclaim myself. And, all that gives you the opportunity to really reinvent yourself. And I had to deal with that before I could really jump back into dating. And I think there's been a couple people that have just had to deal with me going through that process.
Okay.
I personally think everybody is put in your life and in your path for a reason. And so I think, like I said earlier, recovery happens in connections. Recovery never is going to happen in isolation. So I was really open and honest with the people that I dated about, hey, look, this is what I'm going through. And, I really haven't, when you're open and honest with people about such heavy things, you're going to get that fight or flight response. Either they're going to stick around and support you, or they're going to run.
That's true.
And so really quickly, I found a couple decent people that I could surround myself that were really supportive.
Very good. Very good. So I'll ask you the same question I asked the other lady. Are you dating now?
I'm kind of casually dating, I think.
And how is that going?
It's going.
Why are you laughing so much?
Of all people, Keith.
I'm just asking. Okay. Well, Tatiana, thank you so much for calling in. Are you going to stay in the chat?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will see you in the chat, Tatiana. Thank you so much for calling with your silly ass.
I know. You know me.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So funny. So funny. All right. I think we had a couple of calls that came in while Tatiana was on the phone. I think that was that was Tatiana. That was an 832. No, that was it. No, somebody else called in. If you just called, please call back. Let's see here. Let me spam the chat with the number just in case someone has forgotten. There we go. All right. Let's look at this chat. XJW Survivor says, I have two brothers that aren't active anymore. One is more narcissistic and manic depressive, and the other one has major anxiety issues and fear of abandonment. That's a lot. All right, let's see who this is. You are on the K Fits My Life show. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, so I'm gonna go by Bonnie, and I'm calling from New York. And so I think this topic is so interesting. And so a little backstory: I'm 25. I left the cult about a year ago, and immediately I started dating. I met this great guy, and we're still together. It's gonna be almost a year now.
Okay.
And so one of the challenges that I faced was pretty big because this guy has a million friends. He went to a big college. He has a lot of friends from there. He's in medical school now. He has a lot of friends from there. He has a big family, and I had nobody.
Okay.
And it came to the point where he would want to meet my friends, and it came to the point where I would have like anxiety attacks, and I would be crying all the time, and I just felt like complete shit. Like I have nothing to offer, not even only him, but any other guy in the future. I have everybody that meant the world to me, cousins, best friends, they're no longer in my life, so that was a really big hurdle to overcome. Now I've gotten closer to a lot of coworkers and a lot of people. I built my tribe, or I'm in the process of rebuilding my tribe. So he's met people that, are very meaningful to me, and that now we don't have that issue so much anymore. But that was a really big challenge because sometimes, I'm sure you can relate, or other people listening can relate. I feel like I'm like on the planet by myself sometimes. It can get really tough with like feeling lonely, and I don't want to make this man like my everything. I don't want to be dependent on him or codependent. So even if, I have nothing to do, instead of like bothering him, or so how I would feel, I try to like text like an old friend from even high school and go out for lunch. So that's a challenge that I have, is not, how do I say, not feeling like I have to make this guy my everything because I don't have anybody else. And yeah, and so, but that's gotten a lot better. And another thing is, because coming from being a Jehovah's Witness, we're taught to always date with the goal of marriage. And sometimes I like go crazy. I'm like, is this guy gonna marry me? Is this the one? And so I always have to think, you gotta chill, like just enjoy the moment, enjoy this person. I don't know if this guy's going to be my husband, and it doesn't matter. Just take it easy. I just got my first tattoo, and it's the quote, "Que sera, sera," which means whatever happens, happens. And that's really just like the motto that I'm just trying to live by. Just take it easy, and let life's journey just like guide me through. And so he's a great guy. Is he going to be my husband? I don't know. But I'm just trying to enjoy every moment of it, every date, every experience that we have together, and I'm learning and I'm growing, and it's been great. So I just wanted to call and just talk about that a little bit. I don't know if you have.
Now can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Don't try to jump off now. Come on now. you know me. I'm gonna ask a question. So does he know that you were a Jehovah's Witness?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I was pretty open about that since we met on an app, on Coffee Meets Bagel. So he knew that from maybe the first conversation that we had. He didn't know much about Jehovah's Witnesses, though. He didn't know about the whole shunning thing. So all of that is new to him. He just saw, some people knocking on doors, a few Saturdays in his life. A lot of people really don't know. That's what I'm realizing. A lot of people don't know a lot about what happens in the organization. So I had to. He's doing a lot of learning too, and he's gotten a lot more patient and understanding, and he knows that sometimes I reminisce about, my cousins, the people that, I don't know, I'm not a guy. I don't know if all women are like this. I'm sure all women are not like this, but you have like fantasies, and you think when you get married, this is going to be your bridal party. That's not reality anymore for me. So he's we're learning to know each other more, and he's learning that my old life still impacts me very much, and we're just like growing together.
How does he react to the moments when you are having those thoughts about your old life? Because I know that happens. That happened with me, happens to me a lot. And I think those are the times when sometimes people don't understand that you kind of need them, and sometimes people think that you don't need them at those times. How does he react when that time happens with you?
He'll just say things like, yeah, babe, it's okay, but you have this person and you have that person and you have, he tells me other people that I have in my life, which is, great. So he gives me a reminder of everybody else that I have, and he tries to get me to be grateful for everybody that I have. But, so it's not like he just like shuts me out or doesn't care at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I do understand that it's like, it's hard for him and not fully walking through what we've been through. So he tries, and it's gotten a lot better. So
that is a very good thing. How long have you guys been going out?
Almost a year, and it's been official. It's gonna be 1 year since we've been boyfriend and girlfriend in June, and we've been dating since like a little over a year now.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
So you're happy though. You're happy, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely happy. Yeah, for sure.
So
for sure, but I'm just trying to like not try to like rush to the altar because coming from Jehovah's Witness, it's like you've been together a year. Like, when are you getting engaged? So
right.
That's always like in the back of my head. Like, is he gonna, does he really take me seriously? But we're both so young. We're both 25 years old. So like, it's like I have two the devil and the angel on the shoulder.
Right.
Like one, the old Jehovah's Witness mentality is like talking to me, and then like the new person that I'm trying to, be is always trying to remind me that just relax.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, that was a really good. Say that again.
It's all a process, but I'm really enjoying it.
It sounds like it. This was a very good call. This has been a really positive call. I really thank you so much for calling. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I wanted to share because there's nobody else that can relate like us. Even if I talk to my girlfriends about it, they don't fully understand because they weren't Jehovah's Witnesses. So I really don't have anybody in my life right now that understands the way you guys do. So it's so helpful.
Well, thank you so much for calling and sharing your story. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you so much for the platform that you give us.
Hey, thank you guys for calling in and being a part of it. It wouldn't work without you guys, so thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That is the thing, man. You guys are bringing up such great points. Think about that. How many times were we told, and I remember that in the organization too, if you were dating somebody, you had to be getting married. You had to be getting married. That was such a good call because what she said is sometimes you forget the shit that we had to go through in that organization. You forget the shit that we had to go through. And I even, like I told you guys before, when I was going over my baptism questions, they were literally asking me at 17 or 18, are you guys going to get married? And I literally said, dude, I'm 17. I just like her. Damn, can I just like a woman? Do I have to marry her tomorrow? And I literally said, not tomorrow. I said, I just like her. And he said, well, are you working? And I said, dude, I just said that we're not getting married. What are you talking about? They were pushing me to get married. So crazy. So what you're saying is so good. I think we have to get our brains out of that shit and just enjoy the person's company that we're talking to. That's great, man. What's going on, Christine W? She said, what's up, peeps? Cleo Banks says, great call. We're the same age and I feel the same way. I'm glad you're in a healthy, happy relationship. Yep. Michelle M says, yep. We forget the BS. We do. We really do. KB says, insane. HCD says, in the Borg, once dating couples start sitting together at Kingdom Hall meetings, the elders automatically tell the friends they are engaged. That is so true. I remember when when we got married, nobody knew we were married because we just eloped. And after we got married, we went to the meeting together. and we sat next to each other, and I put my arm around her. And everybody, when I put my arm around her, it was like everybody was like, "Oh my God, are y'all married? What happened? Are y'all married? Are y'all married?" I mean, we were, but I was thinking it's not like if you put your arm around somebody, it automatically means you're married. It's so ridiculous the way people think about relationships in this organization. It's so ridiculous. All right, we got another call here. You are on the K Fits My Life show. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Alicia from California.
What's going on, Alicia? How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Just really enjoying the show. Doing such a good job.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
One of the points that your aunt brought up about how does family, that weren't Jehovah's Witnesses treat us. And we had lots of relatives that weren't in. And we, of course, weren't allowed to be around them. It's like we were brainwashed thinking, that's the crazy side of the family or whatever. And so then recently when we left and, we went looking for those relatives, and they embraced us. Like one relative is like some kind of weird kind of religion, but she was like, "Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus." When she found out that we weren't going to be in it anymore. And then another one had expressed how she just was so sad for our kids, that they never got to celebrate the holidays and that kind of thing. But they welcomed us, but it's not the same because we, weren't raised around them. So it's tense, It's kind of sad, but I don't know. But the other thing that I wanted to bring up was, when you said, is it a good idea to let somebody know that you're dating or whatever, that you're a Jehovah's Witness? And I'm married, but my opinion is absolutely, if it's going to be a long-term situation, I would say you have to let them know, because, we come with so much baggage once you come out of that cult. Mm-hmm. And how unfair is it to that person that, that you're trying to build a relationship with if you keep something that huge to yourself? Mm-hmm. That's insane. If it's like some, casual, like you're not serious, well, I wouldn't get into it or whatever. But otherwise, if it's somebody you're going to be serious about, absolutely. If you're trying to build a foundation, it's like, what are you bringing to the table? And you're keeping something that huge from them. That's, wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
I agree.
Even my coworkers, it's like when I started this other job after we left the cult, and I hesitated to tell them, that we were in that religion, but I think somebody else had brought up the point that I totally agreed with. It's like, what do you say when they ask, well, where are your relatives? Mm-hmm. It's like, because my daughter and her husband are still in the cult. And so it's like, do I say I only have, 2 sons and leave her out? So of course, even in the workplace, that comes up too. And it's amazing how people just have no idea how insane that religion is. They just think it's, the smiley, happy-go-lucky, they're knocking at your door, these sweet people, no idea what the background is there. So my coworkers, they're just in shock over that cult. But that's pretty much all I wanted to say.
That is an amazing point, though, because it is, if you're having a serious relationship with someone, this is such a huge part of our lives and who we were and who we are. So you're right. Mm-hmm. Not sharing that is, I think you're setting yourself up for failure, because you're not letting that person know everything they need to know about you to make the decision as to whether or not they want to be with you.
Absolutely. And think about just the different problems you have when you come out of there, depression, this, that. I mean, the list goes on and on. And even, things with me, I notice that I am so quick to just like cut people off in terms of the littlest things they do. Now imagine if I was trying to build a relationship and you're just cutting people off. Those are key things. That's all the more reason why you need to let them know your history, because it's going to come up one way or another.
So true. So true. So true. Great call, man. Thank you so much. This is something that we definitely need to keep talking about here in the chat. Thank you so much for that call. Amazing call.
No, thanks, man. Thanks for doing such a good job. You're helping so many people.
Thank you, man. We're trying. We are helping each other. You guys help me as much as I'm helping anyone else. So thank you for calling.
No, thank you.
All right.
I'm going to join the chat.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Man, great point, man. Great point. If you don't tell them and then you start exhibiting weird behavior, you're not going to get the understanding you need. And that is so true, man. Man, very good call. Very good call. Tatiana says, if you don't do any kind of activism, just talk to the people that care about you. Yeah. HCD says, for transparency, honesty is the only way to go. Absolutely. Ms. Bailey said, I told my coworkers about the JWs and spill tea whenever possible. Thumbs up from Aunt Renee. KB says, yes, cutting people off, not learning relationship problem-solving skills. Yes. Alicia Schaefer says, thank you, Keith. No, thank you, Alicia. KB says, that's how the organization operates. Don't work it out with people. Don't see their perspective. Just get rid of them. And that's so true. And again, I saw that today when I saw that guy. I keep bringing this up because it's been so long since I actually had a conversation. This is okay. FYI, guys, if you're in the chat and you call from an unknown number, I will decline it because I'm thinking it's a troll. So please show your number. I won't share it with anyone, and I won't call you later. All right. Hold on one second, guys. Skype is being weird. All right. I think we got a troll that is continuing to call. So give me 1 second, guys. Let me do something here. Let me do something here. Hold on 1 second, guys. You know what? Give me one moment, guys. I know it's a major troll. You are on the K Fits My Life show. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, how you doing, K Fit?
What's going on?
My name is Tim, but I go by Blue Bull.
Okay.
I'm from North Carolina.
All right. What's on your mind, man?
I want to say this. I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, but I am actually dating someone who is an ex-Jehovah's Witness. If you already know, by the way, she is a mod in your chat. Her name is Gypsy Lily.
All right. So I ended that call. Let me just take the phone line down for one moment. I'm just going to take it down for one moment, guys. Did y'all hear that? I'm going to take the phone line down for one moment, guys. Hold on. I'm just going to go ahead and close out of Skype for a second, guys. All right. Okay. So hold on. Gypsy Lily says that was my boyfriend giving his view from an outside aspect. Okay. Gypsy Lily, I did not know that, and I immediately thought it was somebody that was. I wouldn't have expected someone to mention someone's name like that, so I thought that it was somebody playing. Hold on 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. One second, guys. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's see. You're on the K Fits My Life show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Toronto.
Okay. What are you calling about? What's on your mind?
No, I'm just curious. Like, I'm not into the whole Jehovah's Witness thing, but they do come to my door. And some people say it's a cult. I don't know. Like, so, you know, I don't want to be rude and say it is that, but I don't know. So,
What's your question?
Well, basically, would you consider, like, what do you consider Jehovah's Witness? Do you consider would you consider more of a cult, or would you consider a real?
All right. Don't call if you can't even articulate a question, guys. I mean, come on now. Let's not be stupid. Let me see here. Wow, guys. This is crazy. This is literally crazy. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to shut down Skype, and it literally won't shut down. So hold on 1 second, guys. Trolls are getting us tonight, but we're going to shut the app. We're going to shut it down. Give me 1 second. All right, guys. Let me see something here. Let me see if we are totally out. Let's see if we are totally out. I think we are. All right. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Now, Gypsy, so yeah, damn it. I didn't realize that was a legit call. I just thought it was somebody that was looking in the chat and saw some names, and that was that. So I'm sorry about that. We'll get him to call in at another time if he wants to. Let's see. Let's look at the chat. KB says, dude was lonely and need to talk to someone. Keith, have a heart. Man, no. We don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. Frank the writer says, my friend was told not to sit with his girlfriend at the meetings unless he was engaged. He looked at it as Jehovah telling him that. Wow. That is so true. Talian says, Keith, get an app called Trap Call. It unmasks blocked and private phone numbers. What I'm going to do is just end up going ahead and getting the thing I need so that I can put calls in the queue. And that way it won't even ring, and I won't have to worry about what happened tonight. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to go ahead and invest because the show has gotten to the point where we have enough calls and we're on enough that I'm gonna have to go go ahead and step the game up a little bit. Tatiana says we're not here to educate tonight. No, we are not. Not tonight. Not tonight. So I guess what I will do is Gypsy Liz says, Keith, no need to explain. This is getting out of hand. I'm so sorry. These trollers are ruining everything for us. They're not going to ruin everything for us. They're not going to ruin everything for us. We're going to make this thing happen. We're going to make this thing happen. Now, Gypsy, tell your boyfriend that he is more than welcome to call. Blue Bull Reborn. Was that you that called? That was Blue Bull that called in? But Gypsy, yeah, I'll bring the phone lines back up here in a second, and then we can see about getting that call in. But we'll see. I wonder if there's a way. Give me 1 second. Let me check something real quick, guys. Okay, so give me 3 seconds and I'm going to block unknown callers from Skype real quick, and that way we won't have to worry about it, okay? So give me 1 moment. Give me 1 moment. Oh, no, it's not telling me that. Okay, so Tatiana says, let us help you purchase for new software. Thank you, Tatiana. All right, so let's try this one more time. Let's see what happens, guys. I think we still had a few more callers that wanted to call in, and we can go for another 10 minutes or so. It's already past 3 hours. So all right. I think we got it set up where we can block unknown callers. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Okay, so Gypsy, if your boyfriend wants to call back in, please have him call back in. I think I got it where we're okay for a moment. I think we are okay. I really wanted to hear that, but that call, but it was a little bit too much going on. So if he wants to call in, have him call back. It's all good. Tell him to call back. Hey, actually, you know what, Gypsy? Tell me what his area code is. Give me his area code. Give me his area code. That way we'll know what it is. What's going on, Red Boy? Red Boy joining the chat 3 hours into the show, but it's never too late. Aramis says, I don't get why you would click a video to watch without reading the title that states the topic. Hey, I don't either. Okay, well, we had a call, and he just popped back up. His area code is 336, so we will look for that. We will look for that. Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you, Today Forever. I appreciate you. Thank you, Christine W., for the donations, guys. Really appreciate that. That's nice of you guys. That really is. And it was It was just that I never thought I needed to, guys. The show just recently got to a point where we actually started receiving calls. So I never thought I needed to get the to splurge for the software where we can put calls into queue. I never thought I needed it. All right, we got him. You on the K Fits My Life show. What's your name and where you calling from?
It's Blue Boy again.
Okay. Hey, man, I'm sorry about that. We were getting a whole bunch of troll calls, and I didn't know. I thought there was somebody looking at names in the chat and just being a dick and calling in. So I apologize for cutting you off, brother.
Oh, no, it's fine, man. I know how it is. I'm a YouTuber as well, so I definitely know how trolling is.
All right, so go ahead and share, man. What's on your mind?
Well, what I was saying originally, Gypsy Lily, I'm her boyfriend, and I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, but she's an ex-Jehovah's Witness now.
Okay.
And we've been dating for a year and some months. And when I first met her, that's when she told me she was a Jehovah's Witness, and I've never judged her for it because I grew up in a household where my mother was raised in a Muslim family and my dad was a Christian. So I was like in the mix of two religions, and I'm just more of me doing my own thing, even though I really don't like judge others.
Mm-hmm.
But being with Gypsy for a year has really been a blessing because I could never ask for anyone who was very special to me, and she puts up with me and I put up with her, and yeah. So even like through all the stories she's been telling me of her growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, yeah, there were certain things I was like, okay, that's kind of messed up, and there were certain things that I couldn't agree with, and I couldn't understand it. So after watching your streams and everything about how you dealt with being a Jehovah's Witness and how your family pushed you away, if I'm saying that right, it's kind of how it reminds me of Gypsy, and I just still feel like it's kind of messed up for the fact, like, how could family do that to one another?
Just make it more
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed, man. Agreed, bro. But the good thing for you too is that you are understanding, and she needs that understanding, and you guys are meeting in the middle, and that's beautiful, man. Because there's a lot of people out there who don't have that, and there's a lot of people out there who don't want to take the time to understand what somebody like you being a guy having a girlfriend. There are a lot of people out there that don't want to take the time to really learn what that person is going through. And that is a great thing for you because, you know, one, it's going to make her love you even more because she needs that. And even as a guy with my girl, I would want her to actually say, let me figure out what's really going on with him in his mind. And for you to do that is huge. And I think it's a testament to how much you must really care about her. And it's only going to make your guys' relationship even better. Like, what was you? I know you said some things that you heard or that she said that you were like, that's crazy. But how going forward in the relationship, how has it been? What are some of the things that you've seen that you were like, that has to be because of the Jehovah's Witness thing?
I really haven't been picking up on certain things. It was just, it was mainly for the fact, like, when she talks about her family, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe there was one time I've actually met them.
Mm-hmm.
And they really didn't have a problem with me at all at first. I mean, there was like one person out of the family, they welcomed me, which was great, but I never really had like that vibe where it was more of the fact that she was dating someone who was not a part of the organization. I never got that vibe from any of them. I don't know if they talk about me behind closed doors. I'm not sure.
They do. They do.
She said they do.
Yeah, it's just more. It's more like I actually don't see things like that. I just see Gypsy as a human being, and I do find this human being very attractive. And no, I'm just saying. It's just I do find this person attractive, and I don't see like color, race, or religious background. It's just one person to another.
That's how it should be.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Bro, thank you for so much for taking time to call in, and I appreciate hearing you and hearing you say that you want to take the time to learn about what she has gone through. I think that means a lot to just everybody, because that's what we all want and need, so that we can have a happy and healthy relationship after leaving the organization. So that speaks volumes about your character as a man, and I respect the hell out of you for that, bro.
Thank you. And again, I do apologize for earlier. I promise you I wasn't trolling.
I know, man. I'm sorry I hung up on you, but thank you for calling back, because I think you've gotten more hearts from anybody that's ever been in the chat, because that was a really good thing to do, brother. So I respect you, and I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, thank you, man. I was still enjoying your shows, even though I'm just like a spectator.
Hey, but that's all we need, man. We need people to come in, people outside the organization to come in and see what we're going through, so that they can understand better. And that's what you're doing, and I appreciate it. Thanks for watching the show, man.
Yeah, and thank you for having me on your call line.
Hey, no problem, bro. I'm sure I will see you and Gypsy in here in the chat in a little bit. So thanks for calling, man.
No problem. Talk to you later.
Good night. Bro, isn't that like legit? Isn't that what we are all looking for? Isn't that what we all looking for? For real, for real. And hold on. Wendy Seeley, $50. Thank you so much for that donation. Today Forever, thank you for your donation, $20. Tatiana, thank you so much for your $1.99. Michelle M., thank you for your $2. Christine, thank you for your $10. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this show and helping it grow to the point that we have annoying ass trolls calling. I think I have it blocked where we won't get any more unknown calls. So I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're good. We will see. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. I never would have thought that we would get to the point where we would have 3-hour shows with 40 people still in here watching and calling and sharing information about their lives. I literally this morning when I was doing my gratitudes and everything that I was thankful for, I spoke about how grateful I was for this show. Because this show is not just me trying to help you guys. You guys are helping me to help me, really. Tatiana asked, how much more do you need? Okay, so I'll show you guys what it is. If I'm not mistaken, it's Blog Talk Radio is what I'll have to have. I'm going to go to the website. I think it's like $30 or $40 per month. And it depends on how long your show is. Let's see here. I'm going to look right now. Yeah, so all right, let me go see if I can share the screen real quick. So I don't want anybody to think I'm lying about anything. So if I do the free one, 2 callers per session, that shit ain't gonna work because we got too much going on. So it will end up being, because the $39 per month session is only up to 50 calls for 2 hours per day, and this show is going to 3 hours per day at least. So I will probably have to get the premium one, just for the length of the show being 3 hours long. So I'll probably have to pay about $100 a month, which is why I've never had the need to do it up until now, because I'm like, I'm not gonna pay $100 per month, and I'm not even really using it that much. So I've just said, forget it. I'll use Skype. But we are getting to the point with this show that I'm gonna have to start calling. I'm gonna have to start using that so I can put these calls in queue, so we don't get these trolls. Now, let me just see if I have successfully blocked the unknown callers. And now, if I've done it where I've successfully blocked the unknown callers, I think we'll be okay with just saying, hey, call back when the person is off the air. No, I don't think anybody needs to become patrons. I don't think we need to go that far. I think we're okay, and I think even if we have to do the $99 per month, it'll be okay, because I'll be able to just cover it with what I make from my YouTube channel, and it'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. Either way, the show is going to go on, and you guys have helped me enough tonight to get the show to go on. We'll make it happen. We will make it happen. I'm not worried about it. I am not worried about it. Miss Bailey says, can you save our number so you can identify the callers? I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to save anyone's number, even though there's a list of numbers here in Skype. I see everyone's number, but I don't know who it is. And I'm not trying to get my Bill Cosby on or something, and people be like, he's been saving all these phone numbers and all that. I would much rather just not have it. Blue Bull Reborn, we appreciate you calling in, man. We really do. And I think your story, you sharing that shit, is so touching. It is so touching, because that is what all of us are looking for, that understanding. That is really it, man. To have somebody that says, I know you went through all this. I know you went through all this stuff, and I'm really willing to rock with you anyway. And on top of rocking with you, I want to find out exactly how you feel about it. You know what I'm saying? So that is huge, bro. That is huge, bro. Gypsy Lily says, thanks everyone. He was super nervous, but he really wanted to share. It's great to know that we can get non-XJWs to learn more as well. It is. It is. Okay, we have another call. Let's see who this is. You are on the K Fits My Life show. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Ryan Grant. I'm calling to say I hate fucking niggers, Jews, spics, and Arabs.
Okay. I hope everybody heard that. He wanted to make sure we all knew that he hates Arabs, Jews, spics, and Arabs. But yeah, man, it was great that you are able to call in. Yeah. So, let's see what I know, right? But regardless, guys, trolling is something that we're just not gonna get around. You're not able to know someone's a troll when they call in, and if anybody watches YouTube, any YouTuber gets trolls. That's just how it works. Some people just don't have a life, and so they get off on trolling. Aramis says probably best to donate to Keith in a more direct way. YouTube is robbing him of his super chat donations. Their percentages are crazy. Yeah, YouTube takes a third of whatever anyone donates. And I've never been one to just really ask for donations because I just feel like if someone feels what we do is worth donating, then they'll donate, and I appreciate it. I appreciate anybody taking the time to donate their hard-earned dollars to what I do. I appreciate it. But I think we're covered, man. I think we'll be good. Bon Bossa says, thank you, Keith. Thank you. Miss Mont Blanc says, seventh Patreon is paid site with different tiers or levels. The more you pay, the higher the levels and perks. You should look at a podcast as well. Well, I put this show on my iTunes podcast. I do have a podcast. Gypsy Liz says, Keith, we are all here to help you. We can make this work. Well, we are making this work now, and I really appreciate you guys so much. I really do. So, what we'll do is we'll see. I'll check into the tiers for Blog Talk, and I'll figure out how all that stuff works. And we'll get it going. Now, if we can keep it popping like right now, and not have too many unknown callers, and I can get the queue going with the Blog Talk, I think we will be super straight. Cleo Banks says, this is so encouraging. Honestly, every call was very inspiring. Thank you, everyone. This helps me see outside of the JW bubble isn't too scary. And that's the point, man. That's the point. This topic was something I wanted to do for a long time. And the topics that I try to do are topics that relate more to how it is once we leave. Because we have to remember, guys, there is a whole world out. There's a whole world of information out there that we aren't privy to inside the organization. So think about all the topics. I literally think that almost any topic that we come up with is a topic that's going to help somebody who was in the organization that knows absolutely nothing about that topic. Seventh Heaven says, what do you think of publishing that troll's number? It don't matter because they can just get another number anyway. Like you can get a phone number on the internet for free in 5 minutes. So if they want to troll that much, they're just going to keep trolling it. You can't really stop trolls. Trust me, you can get a new phone number in 5 minutes, and it's just back to the trolling board. Blue Bull says there's a service called Discord where everyone can chat, and I think that would be a good outlet too if you're interested. Okay, we'll look into that. Yeah, I've heard of Discord. AK Perez says, would a P.O. box be a good idea for direct donations? I don't have a P.O. box. I used to, but I had one when I was homeless. But guys, if for some reason you want to do a direct donation, you can use either Cash App. My aunt's hilarious. She said, I knew you'd eventually get called a nigga on here. Oh man. You can either use Cash App, and I don't use. Let me just go to my Cash App because I don't even remember what the thing is. Hold on 1 second, guys. So for Cash App, it's $KFits9665. Cash App donations. Aramis says, don't laugh, Keith. I have one now because I'm homeless. Hey, you know I'm not going to laugh at you, brother, because I am right there with you. I am right there with you. That P.O. box got me through. It got me through. And then I'm going to give you guys my Venmo as well, if you're interested. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being interested in helping. At Keith-Fitzpatrick-3 is Venmo. He says, Auntie, it was bound to happen. Keith can't just be great. Hey, you know it happens. It happens to the best of us. They're going to get us eventually. They're going to get us. All right, guys. So, guys, if you haven't already gone to the community tab and voted on the month that this meetup would be best, please go to the community tab on my channel. Let me post it one more time. Yeah, I do use the N-word every now and then. I do say nigga every now and then. I'm not gonna lie. I don't use it on every show, but I do say it every now and then when I deem it necessary to use. Let me go to this poll real quick. Yeah, if you guys, I think there are only 13 votes. So if you go to the community page on my channel, I'll put that here in the chat. Yeah, go to that link and please vote on the poll for which month would be best for the meetup. If it comes out to be August, which is about 4 months from now, my birthday is August 20th. So that was one of the options for August. If we need to push it back to September, if that's going to be better, just let me know what month is best for everyone. And I really want to arrange this meetup so as many of us as possible can get together, have a good time, arrange some events for us to go out and hang out and have fun, and also arrange some events for us to actually learn some things, talk to some people, have some panels, have some open discussion. But just vote and let me know which month is going to be best for everyone. I would like to do it this year within the next 4 months. I think there will be plenty of time to arrange it, get everyone who I would like to be here, and maybe vote on some of the things. I'll make another poll and we can vote on some of the things that we would like to do during this meetup. Man, I'll tell you guys what. My aunt is by far the best cook in Nashville. And I'll put this out there now. If y'all want some of my aunt's food, we can donate to have her cook, and I'm pretty sure if we donate enough, and I will donate to have some of my aunt's cooking just to pay for some of the food. We can see if Aunt Renee wouldn't mind catering the event, because nobody can cook like my aunt. Nobody can cook like my aunt. And if we donate enough money, we might get Aunt Renee to cook for us. Because I'm telling you, there's nobody in Nashville that can cook like my aunt. So if you guys want, I'll put another poll. We can see what types of food you guys like. And then we can maybe see if if we get enough money, I'll see how much my aunt needs to get this done. We can give my aunt some money, because my aunt will do that thing. I am telling you, nobody can cook like my aunt. And I'll ask her if she gets enough money in donations. We'll see if we can get my aunt to cater this event. Because I am telling you, hey, my aunt is the business. My aunt is the business, and she will make a margarita that will put you on the ass of your ass. Hey, man, I'm telling you. So let me know what month is good for you guys. This will be something that we could really do to really help all of us. Yeah. Gypsy says, Oh, RNA, let's test that theory because I need to have me some Nashville cooking. Yep, I will donate to the food even if I'm not there. I'm telling you guys, you have not had food until you've had my aunt's cooking. I'm telling you. All right, so please make sure you vote. Does anybody have, before we shut this down, because we've been going for 3.5 hours. It is almost 11 o'clock here. And I have to get up and help my aunt do some stuff in the morning. So before we go, does anybody have some ideas for some things that they would like to talk about on the show? Put some ideas in the chat now. Of course, I always have ideas, but I would like to talk about some of the things that you guys would like to talk about. So tell me, let's spam the chat now. We have 40 people almost watching. How many people have ideas for things that they would like to discuss about being out of the organization? Tell me what they are. Let's see what we have, what ideas we have. Let's talk about some things. Just let you guys weigh in on what we talk about on the show. Let's see what ideas you guys have. Because Willow B made that really good idea. And me and my aunt were trying to figure out one of the ideas that was given last night. We went back into the chat to try to find it, and we couldn't find it. But here's a time. Here's a time, guys. So if you have any ideas, go ahead and put them in the chat. And we'll be on for another 3 or 4 more minutes. If there's any last person that wants to call and get the last call in for the night, we'll go ahead and put it in the chat again. Okay. Today Forever says, I love the nurture versus nature in the concept of JWs. Okay. Seventh Heaven says, I like your idea. I like your idea you mentioned last time. What is the best things about being out of the org? I think that's what me and RNA were looking. That's what we were looking for, RNA. And I think RNA did mention that. Michelle M says, when your ex-JW husband and ex-boyfriend get along. So weird. Really? Tatiana says, I need to be flown in. All right. Well, we will see if you can get on Tinder and find somebody that's willing to fly your ass into Nashville. I don't know if you've heard of that app, but you can get on Tinder. I'm sure you will find someone who would be willing to fly you into Nashville. Or you could you could ask Dr. Phil. Let's see. Wendy Seeley says, how do I make new and real friends now that I left the org? That is a good one, Wendy Seeley. Cleo Banks, biggest lie that you were told by the JWs that you found out was true after leaving. Hey, Cleo Banks, that's a good one. Biggest lie that you were told by the JWs that you found out was true after leaving. Very good. Tarina says that's the jerk. I told you guys, there's still some jerk in there. Don't think it's all gone. We're gonna fly Tatiana in, y'all, from Austin, Texas, so she can be a panelist on the show. Honestly, I think it would be a good. We'll talk about that later. Tatiana, we'll talk later. Alicia Schaefer says, how about how everyone is coping with being shunned, like what things people are doing to move forward? Alicia, we've already had a show about that topic, but that is a very good topic. I think we've already had that show. We may be able to have another one at some point, but we have had that discussion. Foxy Loxy says, leaving the organization and being out in the world when things are going good, expecting them to come crashing down at any moment. Interesting. Interesting. I think Wendy Seeley and Cleo Banks, those are two good topics. Two good topics. Two good topics. Today Forever says what you never believed while in. Ms. Montblanc says, Keith, please expand on being homeless. That sounds intense. Ms. Montblanc, I have a video on my channel that talks a lot of that really details everything that I did while I was homeless. I was homeless for a while. But that video is on my channel. And I talk about it a lot. I go into detail about what happened. So yeah, that is on there. That is on there. Really wasn't that bad, honestly. Yeah, I like you two suggestion. Wendy and Cleo, you two had some good suggestion. Gypsy Liddy says, oh my God, yes, what you never believed in while in. That is a good one. Today Forever, what you never believed while in. A.K. Perez says, I recently reconnected with a JW friend that I hadn't talked to for 30 years, only to be shunned after seeing where each of us were at this point. Aramis says, a lot of good topics. I'll always tune in regardless, but hoping for a topic that I can relate to one day. I was in between the Kingdom Hall and a Baptist church, so I can't relate as much as all of you. Double 11007 says, fulfilling your dreams after you leave, i.e. education, talents, etc. 1111-007, I did that show a few shows back, and it was entitled, what did you want to do that they told you that you couldn't while you were in the org? So that was in there. You're not done with me, Tatiana. You love me too. You're amazing. Seventh Heaven says, what do you believe about God now that you're out of the org? Whoa, that is a good one. That is a good one. Because I touch on that a lot. You know what, Seventh Heaven? We might do that one tomorrow. What do you believe about God now that you're out of the org? That is dope. Today Forever says, Seventh Heaven, it is hard to talk religion, especially with people coming from a cult, but not on this channel. Not on this channel, it's not. We talk about religion. This channel is all about religion. And in this environment, in this atmosphere, we are able to talk about things without judging each other because we all know what it's like to have been judged, so we don't want to do it to each other. So we are able to talk about things in an amicable fashion. Great Dane comes to this show all the time, and Great Dane is an atheist. And she and I talk, she and I have debates all the time, but they're always amicable. And I really enjoy talking to her because she has a different view than from what I do. So personally, I don't have a problem speaking about religion with anyone. My friend who was here in the chat, I don't know if she's still watching. She may be, Dorinda Nicole. Her and her husband are very devout Christians. They're very good people. I don't subscribe to Christianity. I don't call myself a Christian. We talk about religion. We agree on certain things. We disagree on certain things. But the fact is, whatever view anyone has is their view. And if I do or say something to persecute someone for their views, then I am no better than the governing body or any Jehovah's Witness who persecutes me for not being a Jehovah's Witness. And I cannot be that way because I never want to be that way. So anyone that comes to my channel with their religious view is open to say whatever they want to say, Because otherwise, how can I call myself an open-minded person since leaving the organization if I'm closed off to someone else's view? That's not the way this channel is going to work. All right, guys, you all have some very good topics. I'm going to write those down, but I think Seventh Heaven, I want to do your show tomorrow. Dude. Okay, Seventh Heaven. What's the difference between being religious and being spiritual? Pad, pen. Good topic. And view on God. Two good topics. I call myself spiritual and not religious all the time too. Aramis says, Ms. Montblanc, Keith has a video about his process of being homeless. It is indeed intense, but if you have the right mindset, it can be beneficial. I have improved myself greatly during my time. It is. Tatiana says, let's talk about activism. I don't mind talking about activism. I don't mind talking about activism. Angela Green says, I always say, okay, I just said that. Tatiana says, whether or not activism is productive, what kind of activism works best? Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that one. You know what? Let me not write on there. Let me just pull out the board. Let me just pull out the board. And we will write these on here. All right. We're going to put them on the board. That means this is a definite. All right. Now, I want to do tomorrow, thanks to Seventh Heaven. Let's do that one first. The first one you said, Seventh Heaven. View on God since leaving the organization. And then we had religion versus being spiritual. Religious versus spiritual. I think those are two very good topics. And then we had activism. Which way is most beneficial? I like that one. We had to explore how we really word that one and how we really make that one work. Frank the Writer says how all these religions are bootlegged from the church in the Bible. Okay. Today Fev says good night, folks. Good night, guys. The issue of JWs and their information always changing in the publication. This has been happening for years now, yes. But we already know that's going to happen because it's wrong. And that doesn't happen. That doesn't help us move forward discussing their insanity. Miss Bailey too says, what do you do with your free time? Miss Miss Montblanc says tender stop. That's so funny. Seventh Heaven says, by the way, anyone who did not already hear, I am formerly known as Deidre Stinson. Yes, the moderator formerly known as Deidre. All right. I think I wrote down the ones that I thought were good. Yeah? Tatiana said, let's talk about recovery from abuse. I think we've talked about that before. But we may be able to expound on that. Yeah, we know these fools gonna be changing information forever because it's a big lie. Okay, so tomorrow, I think that's going to be a very, very interesting topic tomorrow. Thank you, Seventh Heaven. Tomorrow we will talk about what is your view on God since leaving the organization. Very, very good topic. And I think, did I touch on that before? No, I think I talked about it in one of my videos, but never a live stream. Or I may have touched on it in a live stream, but never a call in. So we're going to call in and talk about it tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow's topic. Oh, making real friends outside the org. Let me write that down because I've already put the board back up. Okay. Frank the Rider says you're going to be on radio and TV pretty soon, Keith, with JT and Lady C. Who knows, man? Who knows? They're good people. I really enjoy their show. They do a good job. All right, guys. So I am sorry that we had that little moment with the trollers. I wish I had known to just block it right then. It would have been much easier and we would have got through it much more quickly. So that's done. I think we'll be okay. I will look into the whole blog talk thing because I'm going to have to learn how to do that properly, how to integrate it with OBS because I use OBS for the videos, how I get all the stuff on the screen and able to switch through menus and stuff like that. So I have to learn how to integrate that with OBS and hopefully it will work properly. Seventh Heaven says we can probably do the show in segments and talk about a couple of topics. We do anyway. Exactly. I agree with that, Seventh Heaven. And before I decided on this topic today, I was going to do that. But then I just said I'm going to go ahead and go with this topic. I think we'll be able to really make it happen. And it ended up being a really good topic. We had a lot of good calls. Really good show. Really good show. All right, guys. So it seems like our shows are getting longer and longer because we have more and more to talk about. But this show, we have been on for 3 hours and 45 minutes. That's interesting, Willow B. Mind control differences between being born in versus learning the truth later. Very interesting topic. Very interesting topic. Born in versus convert. Okay. Very good. Very good. Miss Bailey 2, what about my suggestion? The second one? Which one? Which one, Miss Bailey? Did I not touch on that one? Let me go back and see which one it is, Miss Bailey. Type it one more time, Miss Bailey 2, because it may be far up in the chat. I may have missed it. I agree, Gypsy Lily. Thank you so much. Good night, Michelle M. Thank you for coming into the show today. I hope you have a wonderful night. And yes, Gypsy, it was a beautiful, positive show. What books help you wake up? I'll write that down. All right, guys. All right. So tomorrow, same time, same channel, K Fits My Life. Tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Central, we will talk about your view on God. Let's just say God and religion since leaving the organization. And then we might let that segue into whether you are religious or spiritual. We may be able to, because those two topics are kind of similar. Your view on God since leaving the organization may lean you toward being religious versus spiritual, or spiritual versus religious, or religious versus spiritual. So we'll integrate those two topics into the same show. So tomorrow we will talk about those two things. All right. Guys, I cannot thank you enough for being a part of this show. It has grown so much just in the last few days. Our show has grown so much, man. Starting with just last night, just exploding with so many new people and so many calls. It has been an amazing show. An amazing time, and I appreciate you all so much. So tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Central, I will see you all again. All right, have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for the calls and the donations, and I will see you guys in a few hours. 7:30 p.m. Central tomorrow. Have a good night, guys. Peace.